the cat. No, he's all the way back. I was like, can you imagine?
It would be quite the journey, because it took me like 6 hours by car yesterday to get here. So like, to be
Just
fair,
galloping behind.
like if there was sufficient chicken, he would be here. It's like, ooh, there's food, I'm here, I have come. Because like Sahil messaged me and he was like, oh, they miss you. And I was like, Cece misses me, Darcy misses chicken. That's all it is. But mind you, my father-in-law, he's like really into cats. So like the moment he got into the house, he was like, oh, Cece. And he's like been feeding Cece bits of chicken and like giving Darcy bits of like meat. Like they went out for food the other day and like he didn't like the meat or something because he was like, oh, it wasn't halal, so it didn't taste right. And he brought it back and he was like, Cece and Darcy will like this. So he was like sitting there like feeding them like bits of beef, and I was like, oh my goodness. Hello guys. Darcy, we were talking about you. We were mixing you up with the cat earlier. So just keep that in mind. You're part human, part tuxedo cat. Keep that in mind.
I had a slight confusion last night. Just a slight.
We've all
I've been
been there.
prepared.
Such a care package. Yeah. Daniela got like a care package from me. Oh, was it? Yeah, that was a while ago. Maybe 2 weeks ago. Maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
James already ate his entire portion.
He was very excited about the Banshee Bowl. To be fair,
he enjoyed them a lot.
I knew he would because they're very salt and vinegary. So I was like, yeah, that'll be his kind of thing. Friends, how are we all? Oh, well, okay. So
long time no see to some.
I know. So for those of you who don't know, my gorgeous friend Daniela is a trained professional makeup artist. If for some reason you haven't followed her, I have all of her details below in the description box. She's on Instagram, she's on TikTok, she has a YouTube as well. But you know, for health reasons, she doesn't like post that often on YouTube.
And uni.
Yeah. But check out her Instagram because actually don't check out her Instagram. And the reason why is she's so talented. She's going to make you feel really bad about yourself. Because like I'll have done a look and I'll be like, yeah, I'm quite proud of this. And then I see like something that Daniela has done in like 10 minutes. And she's like, oh, I just did this in 10 minutes. And I'm like, you bastard.
As you can see, I also come in potato format. So, you know.
I mean, I was saying to Daniela earlier that I have a load of spots right now because it's between like the retinol, which is, by the way, like, can we talk about how well that's working, and just like stress and, you know, time of the month, etc. So like we're going to do join the dots today of what's going on here. It's fabulous. But no, we basically, what's happening here is we're getting a fabulous free tutorial from Daniela, who is going to show us one of her like many looks, and she's going to kind of do it step by step with me, so that then you could follow along, etc., as you wanted. She gave me a list of some bits to bring with me so that she and I are kind of following from the same sort of things. So what I have here is the P. Louise Bridal series palette. It's huge, actually. I need to take it out of its box.
I only recently got these because I don't like the bulky packaging and I enjoy flat lays. So I decided to give this one a shot out the blue. And this one, out of all of them, surprised me. Besides the stack 'em up, surprised me the most with quality. And I've actually used this loads. And I told Teresa to get it because it's got that kind of like, it's got really nice neutrals in it. And I honestly think on the market, it's actually hard to find a true neutrals palette that doesn't lean too cool or too warm, bang in between. Albeit the red in my cheeks here, which is also retinal irritation. And hello, I painted one hand and forgot to do the other, Brian. But
autism.
Yeah. And yeah, just like when it comes to neutrals, unless you're paying loads. So, for example, on my wish list, and it's expensive, which is why it's on my wish list, is the Patrick Char Volume 3. They look like true neutrals. I really
Yes.
want that palette. I tried yours when I was at yours, and I really like the formula. And I'm happy to skip the previous volumes for the third one. I think the third one looks my kind of thing.
The third one is on my list. So it's on my list. I wanted to tell the guys how I actually came to having this. Right. So I, as you know, I'm an idiot and I buy a lot of stuff. Some might say that I'm purchasing my feelings. Fair. They're not wrong. I have a lot of feelings, but I have disposable income, so it's fine. So what happened was I had ordered the P.
As you
Louise.
speak, I'm just going to prep my brows, by the way.
Yeah, oh, actually, I should do that too, rather than like pissing about. So I had ordered the P. Louise advent calendar, and I ordered it way back in September. But I also ordered it with some brushes, and the brushes arrived way back in like October, which was grand. And then it was coming into like end of November, beginning of December, and I was like, "What the hell is going on here? I haven't got my advent calendar." So I emailed them and they were like, no, you've definitely got it, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, do you know what? Just give me my money back. And they were like, no money back for you because XYZ. And they just kept going backwards and forwards. And then eventually they were like, oh, yeah, we kind of forgot about your order and you're not getting it now. So we're refunding you. And I was like, yeah, thank you. I've been out of this money for like 3 months or however long. But as an apology, they were like, select £100 worth of goods from our website and we'll send them to you as an apology. So I was like, well then. So I picked up the bridal palette on Daniella's recommendation. Can I just say, being friends with Daniella is the absolute worst because she is like a makeup aficionado, which I love, but she finds all of these things that other people don't realize exist. By the way, if you've noticed me kind of being like, oh, have you tried this? 9 times out of 10, it's a recommendation that Daniella has given me and that I've just passed it off as my own, kind of going, ha, 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 this is my idea now. I claim all of her ideas as my own now. But when you're friends with Daniela, she'll tell you about all the stuff that's really, really great, and then you just end up wanting it. So, but because again, she's an MUA, she has a good idea of what actually works and what doesn't work. So she's great with formulas, great with skincare, etc. So highly recommend having a Daniela in your life. But you can't have this one. I've claimed.
She's not sharing me.
Get your own. But yeah,
I'm
I got
doing a look today
Mm-hmm.
that is interchangeable with other colours. So obviously, if you're not a neutrals gal, totally chill. I like to do a neutral base, but then pop it with something fun. That's my go-to. Because for me, like my neutrals just make me feel my hottest. I love rainbow looks, but when I do my grunge, it's just me in a nutshell. And like I said, like the reason why I like true neutrals is like, albeit the red in my cheeks from retinol, I have a true neutral tone. I am what you call like a bone ivory color. And it's such a weird color. Like when you find like a weird greyish shade and it will match my skin perfectly. It's like almost green. And
What
Teresa's seen
shade
this in
was it?
person.
What shade was it? There was something out of a palette recently, and you were like, "This is my skin tone," and it was so weird. And it was like, "How is that your skin tone?" But
It was
because of
there's
Daniela's,
a couple of them.
yeah.
Trying to remember which one it is now.
But
I
because of
can't
Daniela's
remember.
undertones, everything looks slightly different. So she might take, for instance, like something that's like a contour shade on me, and it ends up being like a fucking grey, like
I
full
think that
grey.
might be a good example.
I think that
Because
was it.
it's kind of greysy, but I'm probably a bit less pale than that. But for me, actually, maybe me. Oh no, I picked the wrong one. There we go. More this one.
Oh yeah, there you go.
But that's a neutral, like a kind of like greysy sort of ivory tone. Actually, a good one might be. Ooh, this one might be a good shout. I recently got this in the post because I've wanted it for ages.
Nice.
But like, I'm almost, there you go, I'm almost a taupey colour.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I totally forgot to get makeup wipes. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to grab, because apparently makeup wipes are very much necessary. Josh, my love, hello. I've loads of makeup but struggle with using it. Welcome to my world. I have a ridiculous amount of makeup and I have only one face. So that's my current struggle.
Grow
I'm going to run.
another face. How could you?
Some will say I have 2 faces or 3. Who knows? Look, the sass is coming today. I'm going to grab makeup wipes. I'll be back in 2 seconds. In case you're wondering why my background is a bit different, I'm at my parents'. That's right. I'm on the road. I'm tripping around 6 hours away from Wexford. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Here is an intermission because Teresa's gone to get some wipes. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've only slept 3 hours last night. You'll never be bored. Also, anyone that likes Red Bull, Blue's where it's at.
Are you trying to say that you're sponsored by Red Bull?
Nah.
You're never going to get sponsored by an energy drink, Daddy.
No.
Never going to happen. Just
wakey juice. It's just a placebo at this point.
Right. Okay. I'm assuming that we're going to do the general base that you would normally do.
And my mix is P. Louise paint mixed with MAC paint pot in white. Oh, you've got the base. Next time you top up, try it with the paint. It's even better. That's what I've been using.
Okay.
Because the white paint is also still emollient, but I feel like the white base from P. Louise, like the regular one, is a little too creamy. And you know me, I like to mix them up and then plonk them on. So
yes. Well, I like the mixture of, the mad makeup science. That's what I'm here for. Josh says the look I did here in my pic took me over 2 hours to do. Fair play, Josh. Fair play. And I will say the more you practice, the quicker you'll get with things as well. It becomes almost like a muscle memory.
Also, if you guys have any MUA questions or anything specific, please ask. I love this kind of thing. I'm not shy.
Oh, and when I tell you, she is a well of knowledge. It's actually ridiculous. If you ever looked at any of our WhatsApp conversations, because we would talk pretty much every single day, and it's just it's intermittent pieces of nonsense, but it's also us just talking about makeup and you talking about, I found the perfect neutral blush, or I found this, I found XYZ. She'll talk about little makeup bits and pieces that she's found, or anything along those lines. So I highly recommend.
Soon as you can get your butt to me, Demi.
Oh, bottom.
Also, I don't know if you do this step, Teresa, but I find that when I tap it almost dry into the lid, I get a much nicer canvas.
Oh yeah, I do that.
Cool. And if you look, I go right out. It's not going to be that big. We're going to blend that big, but then clean it up. Hence me asking you to get wipes.
Excellent.
Because my methods are a little bit chaotic, but the blend is the end product.
Well, I love a bit of chaos, lads.
I'm all about the chaos.
And also, for anyone who doesn't know me, I will struggle to kind of comment back or read your comments when I don't have my glasses on, because I am short-sighted and have astigmatism. So it basically means that I am practically blind when I have no glasses on. It's very upsetting. But to be fair, if God had given me full vision, I would be unstoppable. So,
Where are the rest of my hair clips? I know I put a bunch in here. There we go. Yeah, I'm just a hairy bitch. So sorry. Am I allowed to use bad language?
Yeah, of course you can.
That's all right then.
Of course you
I have
fucking
to
can.
clip my hair out my face so it just gets in the way.
Oh, you see, I'm having a greasy hair day because obviously with traveling and stuff yesterday, I am gross. Well, more gross than usual. So I was like, oh, I probably should have a shower before I do this, but then I slept in. Like poor Daniela was like messaging me at 12 and I had just woken up and she was like, just messaging to make sure you're still alive. And I was like, oh. I mean, I was, but I think the 6-hour car journey kind of did me in. And then I was
God, the red in my cheeks is redding today.
oh.
Can't wait to cover that up. Primer, what do you like? And what kind of primer? You mean eye primers or face primers? Darcy. Sorry, I just saw that, so.
I suppose it depends as well as to what foundation you're using with it. Because you know how there's certain foundations that like...
Teresa, you might want to as well, which is what I like to do, is carve out the under of my brow and then blend it downwards. You get a much nicer, like, tidier brow shape with your makeup after.
Oh.
Because even though it looks really bright, once everything is on and blended, you're not going to notice that undercolor. I'm not like those MUAs where they do the band in the middle of the face and the white everywhere, and then it's still noticeable afterwards.
And I suppose you see the base that I have as well, it is kind of flesh toned on me.
Are you using the white one or are you using Painterly?
I'm using soft ochre.
Well, Sing to a Whisper are back on the MAC site, the white ones.
Good.
Because usually most white primers would change the color of the eyeshadow that are on because they're quite emollient, whereas the MAC dries down but stays a little tacky. And the reason why I like mixing it with the P. Louise base is because it gives me a bit more blend time with the shadows rather than just gripping. But because this has a tackier, drier feel to it, shadows go on truer to color because it doesn't interfere with the colors of the shadows. Face for oily and texture. I will show you when I do my base, but my two favorites are the MAC Hyper Balm and the Milk Grip currently. Like, I've been using those non-stop. So when we get to that, I'll show you how I apply those.
Oh,
are you ready for the eyeballs, Teresa?
Yeah. Josh was just saying that they got the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. That'll be
I personally didn't get on with that one, but I know a lot of people like it. But
yeah,
don't think what I say is gospel when it comes to just me alone. I know what's good, but not a lot of things work on my skin because I have difficult, annoying skin.
Yeah.
Very difficult, annoying skin.
Well, I think particularly when it comes to like primer, skincare, well, not skincare, but like base makeup, it can be so subjective. Because like the thing that I'll be like, this is my ride or die foundation. Somebody else will be like, no, I hate it. It doesn't work.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people can ask and put a status and be like, what foundation should I try? The questions you should be asking is what foundations are suitable for this skin type, for this kind of thing. Where would I find these kinds of tones? Because not every brand has those tones, etc., etc. So, Teresa, do you remember when I said we need brushes like this?
Yes.
All right. So you're going to need at least 3 of them and a blender, a clean blender with each one.
I just like grabbed a bunch of brushes. I also came to realise that I don't have that many of those brushes, but I have loads of blendy brushes. But
you'll end up getting more after a day, I can tell you.
This is what I'm saying, lads. My relationship with Daniela is terrible because, like, she's just like, oh, you need this. And do you know what? Everything she's ever recommended, perfection. She's like, try this, my Kitco brush. And I'm like, oh, you bastard. And then I fucking love it. Or then she's like, oh, try this brush. And then I love it. Try this foundation. And then I love it. Terrible. So basically, just don't listen to her. She's terrible. She's very, very, very bad influence. I shouldn't be giving her a platform. She just like, manipulates me into buying things for myself.
Yeah, because I'm a mass manipulator.
Mass manipulator.
So we're going to be working just off the second row.
Perfect.
That's my favorite row in this whole palette. And I would repurchase this palette just for this middle row. We're gonna go in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 shade in, second row with the shade called Bride Tribe.
Yes. Okay.
So we're gonna dip her in
Mm-hmm.
and use just the tip of the brush.
Okay.
The reason why I like these brushes, I'm just gonna tap out my primer a little more. Hold on, because I've left it too long. Just a smidgy widgy bit because it's dried a little. There we go. And you see where the hood of your eye is?
Yes.
You're gonna, with your eye open, stamp into where the hood of your eye is. And then fill your brush up. You want to bring it to about just before the end of your arch of your eyebrow. So about here, down here, and then just this part of the lid. And that's it for now.
Okay.
On both sides.
Okie dokie.
And just pack that colour on. So you can see I use tapping motions, I'm not buffing. Oh, Demi, I second the spray as well. I love the milk spray. Unless you're talking about the pore filter spray. I still need to try and buy those. They are on my list. Like I said, you don't want to go all the way in. You want to leave this whole portion here open, so like 2/3.
Perfect.
And again, this look is on the simpler side, but it's one of those that once built up, you can get it looking very sophisticated. You can interchange it with a ton of colors.
I mean, that's what I like, having something that I can kind of copy and paste and use different colors across.
And if once you get quick at it, this look can easily be done in like 20, 30 minutes. If you were like going somewhere, you wanted a glam, but you don't want to, you know, spend 6 million years. And I also want to show you guys, because I know everybody is on the tiny brush trend. I want to show you that you can get a detailed eye look without needing loads of tiny brushes. You can get a good blend.
You're never taking my tiny brushes away from me. Never. I love my tiny brushes. You know how I feel about tiny things?
I know.
It makes me feel like I'm a giant. And I need that in my life. Honest God, lads. Sometimes I just, like, you know, I got the Natasha Denona baby bronze and the baby gold. And are they practical palettes? Absolutely not, because there's only 3 colours in them. But I love holding them, because then I'm like, look at me, I'm a giant. I'm exactly the same when it comes to like travel size bottles of like conditioners and stuff. I'm like, hee hee, I'm a big giant. So keep that in mind, lads. That's the way my brain operates. Apparently, it's like a child.
Oh, Demi, you've been poorly for a while. I wish I could help you there.
Do we need to like give you a new organ?
Here, take my lungs.
Yeah, try it. I mean, you can't have mine, but like, you know, I can black market it for you. Not that I
That colour
can.
looks nice on you so far.
Yes.
But what do you think so far? I know it sounds silly, but that whole palette is that formula.
Yeah. No, it's really, really nice.
It's buttery, isn't it? Because I feel like P. Louise are either a massive hit or a massive miss when it comes to their palettes. One or the other.
1,000,000%. There's absolutely no middle ground. And I've said this with them before, of like, you know, the stack 'em ups are my favorites. And then I've had other ones where, look, if anyone has watched my channel for a while, you'll know how I felt about the Watch the Queen Conquer. That was a fucking disaster for me. But I find that with her, it's either it's absolutely fantastic or it's just dreadful.
Oh, I know you are, Demi. Like the stuff that I like from P. Louise, I love, but the stuff that I dislike, I just can't deal with it. You want a clean blender.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I'm going to teach you a little more brush control. So
Ooh.
for those that don't know, obviously there are people that will know in here, but for those that don't know, where you hold your brush really affects how your blend goes. So if you want a loose application or a very loose blend, a very soft blend, you'd hold the brush at the base. Also, if you are the type of person who's worried about putting your eyeshadow too high or blending it too high, the angle of where you hold that brush, as well as where you hold it, makes a difference. Most people would start blending and then go up like this, but then you're pushing that eyeshadow all the way up into your brows. The trick is, and this takes practice, and obviously with me, I can do it more casually because I've done it long enough. But if you learn, and sometimes if you can use a desk to keep your hand at a right angle, and just buff exactly at that angle with the tip of the brush. And imagine you buffing it a couple of millimeters away from your face and back in towards the shadow itself until you have a softer edge. And immediately there's a difference, but obviously I want it softer than that. I mean, I can go in and just be comfortable with it because I've done this a long time, but brush control makes such a huge difference of application because that is one of the biggest questions that I used to get is how do I not get eyeshadow everywhere and angles at everything. Yeah, it is like that, Darcy. Like the formulas very much vary per palette. Oh, I actually want that palette, Demi. And I know it's bad of me because I have 6 million blue palettes, but I want more of them.
Which one is this? Is this the Michaela?
The Kayla one, yeah. I do want it.
Yeah, but you love those sort of tones.
I
That's so
do, and I'm
demanding.
really into like my lavenders and stuff right now, so it like kind of fits my jam. And I am that boring bitch whose blue and brown is my go-to, but you know what? I rock it and I like it, so it is what it
Well, do you
is.
know, I was thinking of you when I did Swashing Sunday for last week, where it was like the triochrome and the baby bronze, because the two of them are
You
so.
are getting a free makeup class right here, Josh. That's the whole idea of this live.
That's right. I'm a use Daniella's skills for my own gain.
Also, for a very clean makeup application, make sure each color has its own brush and corresponding blender. Yes, you'll end up with more dirty brushes, but you'll end up with a cleaner look. It's easy to muddy a brush up with 10 million shades. Oh, I love working with purples, so I might do a purple look one day. I miss doing lives, but since I've started uni, it's taken over. That's why I've barely posted.
But you're killing it with uni, though.
Thank
Killing
you.
it.
It's definitely hard.
But no,
It's
I know this from my own students. The first year is such a learning curve because you're just trying to get used to like the idea of this hidden curriculum of like, okay, we've asked this for you guys of an assignment, but what is actually expected? And then there's just the whole learning curve of like, you know, what are you learning within your lectures? What are the additional skills that you need? Also getting to know all of the people and the surroundings. Like it's a big thing, and it's like a bit of a culture shock for people. So like, I think the fact that you're doing this well this early on, I'm like, oh my god.
I really care about it, and as someone who's 32 and feeling like I have a second chance at life, I kind of don't want to squander it. So it's, you know, I'm like putting as much energy as I can into it. Also, you're not being too nosy asking. I'm doing graphic communication. It's like graphic design, but more because I'm also designing like apps, UI interfaces, websites, that kind of stuff, as well as the graphic design aspect. And it's 2 years plus an extra year if you want to do it. I'm aiming for all three, and I'm really loving it. There is times I a little bit hate it, but not because of what I'm studying. It's just it's very intense. And it's only 2 days a week, so the work you have to do at home is a lot, like a lot of your own time sort of is used up. And
Yeah, because
someone
there's
like me who has fibro and other issues, I have to do a lot of delegating. A
Yeah,
lot of
because
delegating.
the expectation, again, coming from a lecturer, the expectation that we have on our students is that there's a minimum of 40 hours of work per week. Because it is meant to be a full-time job when you're doing your degree. So, like, yes, you may have 8 hours of lectures during the week, but you still have another 32 hours of your own independent work to kind of put in along with that. And some people, of course, they need more time, or they might process things at a slightly different speed. So, like, it is, when people say, oh, I'm only in 2 days a week, and I'm like, yeah, you have a lot of stuff to do though. Like, it's
It's yeah. I'm glad it is only 2 days a week because otherwise I'd be dead.
yeah.
And I'll be honest, there's been times when I've not been able to go in because I'm unwell or crashed, and my tutors are amazing. They are so understanding, but obviously with today's technology and since COVID times, even though Teams is quite often the devil, it's been amazing for me joining the classroom from home so I can watch class remotely when I'm ill in bed and still learn but not have to be present. And that's happened a few times. But I always like catch up. I get help there too. It's been really, really good.
I mean, that's always been the best thing that's come out of COVID is the understanding of the necessary or the necessity for hybrid learning. Because before that, it was just very like, oh, sorry, if you're not here, you're not here, and that's on you. Whereas now it's like, lads, we literally have the technology. We need to be more accommodating and more inclusive, but there's much more of a push for inclusive practice, which rightly so. Daniela, I'm going to annoy you now because I want to check. Have I done this right? Does this look okay?
I think you could go a little softer on the edges, but
Okie
right on the
dokie.
edges, but blend them more outwards than upwards if possible. I'd say lift your elbows a little higher as well. Perfect. Can you see the difference that makes?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're pushing it up, whereas you want to kind of just have it a couple of millimeters. But can you see how soft this edge is around here where it's almost invisible? That's
Yes.
kind of what you want because I'm going to teach you how to do a Daniela blend. And, the lighter you diffuse, the better you get. So don't put too much pressure on it. Just sort of imagine like tiny little circles just back and forth like that.
Yes. Teeny tiny circle.
Yeah.
Pulsating, some might say.
Also, Darcy, just send me a message. I'm sure we can talk about it at some point.
Well, what are we talking about?
She's saying she might need a graphic designer at some point.
Yeah. How dare Daniela get opportunities? This is meant to be about me. About me.
I'm not gonna lie, if you needed a one and done brown, that's actually a really nice color on you though.
Well, Daniela, I'm beautiful. So
We already
everything
know
looks
this.
on me. I love I'm back at my parents now, and one of my cats lives here with my parents. Her name is Sargie, and she absolutely freaked when she saw me. She was like straight on the back, showing me her belly. And then last night she was like, "We'll go up to bed together," and she was all snugged with me. So I'm having quality time with one of my cats that she can't live in Wexford with me because and I need to clarify this. Darcy the cat, not Darcy the human, uh, bit her ear and tried to eat it. That is how hungry a boy. Yes, Daniela, he did that. So
I love him. He's such a little terror.
he is. So she's terrified of him. So obviously, I can't put her into the same vicinity as her. And since he moved from Mayo to be with me, she's had a completely new lease of life. She's absolutely loving things and being like, yay, I can frolic, can do my own thing. But yeah, he's a fucking terror. But yeah, he bit her ear. I can still see like the bit where like there's junk missing. Such a dickhead.
Your right eye's looking perfect though, so you're pretty
This
much
one.
there. Yeah,
Excellent.
it's a lot softer. It does take a bit of practice, but once you get there, you'll sort of like. I know you're like me that once you can see what you've done and it's right, then you know what to do the next time.
Exactly. Well, I mean, lads, how often do you get an opportunity where you have somebody who's an expert in the field talk you through something? I'm going to show you the left eye now. How's that looking?
A lot better. Because what we're gonna do is get the second one of these.
Yes.
And we're going to dip in. So we're going to follow this row. The only one we're going to skip for now is that one because it leaves a little pink.
Okay.
But we're going to go into the shade Charming.
Yes.
Same thing. But where we blended it out, so no further. So just where we blended it out, we're going to stamp that colour over the top.
Okay.
And then bring that round. Same place.
Perfect.
But immediately the colours fuse together with zero need for extra blending because you've already done the work diffusing.
Nice. Excellent. Okay, this is my kind of thing. Stampy, stampy.
And I do this with every look. Not the same look, but the same method because people always ask me how I get my blend so clean. The diffusing and building is how I manage that. And then there's other tips which when I will show you guys, you will be like, what? Because these are pretty fun tips.
I also feel, and this is somewhat off topic, I have talked about wanting to do merch on this channel at some point, but I feel like we need to have a Daniella merch as well, where it's just like diffuse and blend.
Or just goddamn it, Brian.
Yeah. Brian says diffuse and blend.
For those who don't know, Brian's my alter ego. Because it's Brian is a brain. It's an anagram. So when it's not being a brain, it's being a Brian. And those who know me know that I have had my moments of complete and utter nonsense.
Oh, it's amazing. My favorite is how much denier is too much denier.
That's me and my sister. She shares that every year.
It's because it's perfection. No, actually, I tell a lie. That's not my favorite. My favorite is.
No. I know where you're going with this. Is it the eyes?
Yes. However blind you choose to be, Teresa. Because Daniella was doing my makeup and she was like, oh, look, you know, however blind you choose to be, Tracy, you have to admit this looks great. And I was like, choose to be blind. So hardly I choose to be blind. So it's a great moment for me to realise that.
What I meant to say was, even though you can't see, you can see this, but my brain absolutely messed up that sentence. Demi loves Brian. See, those who know Brian understand. And it was actually me and Teresa who came up with Brian.
Yeah.
Brian's like at least 2 years old now, at least.
Oh, yeah.
And in a way, it's helped me normalize my, like, not like weird quirks, but like things that come out that I used to feel ashamed for, I now just laugh at. Not that I didn't laugh at them before, but now giving it like a name. Also, I've just done the same, Teresa. I've just gotten another clean brush and diffused those edges again.
Excellent. Right angle again?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, like I said, because then you don't want it too far or too high. And obviously, Teresa's eye shape is different to mine, so hers will look different to mine.
Yep.
Just keep that in mind.
I have very hooded eyes.
Mine are downturned. My eyebrows would grow to here if I didn't shape them the way I did. It's also why I push my eyebrows up. I like to call these hawk brows because I love a straight brow. But it gives me more real estate here, and the reason why I push my eyeshadow up so high is to sort of give myself more of an angular look, because I don't mind the sort of doe-eyed look, and I do it sometimes. Like for yesterday's look that I did, I used what I call my sleepy lashes, the point a little lower to sort of play with that kind of like sultry downturn look. But for me, I like a fierce angle. Excuse me, sorry. And this part of my eye here, like my eye anatomy here, goes in really, really deep. So I like to lift and extend my eye shape that way, and if I bring stuff in too deep here, it just sort of disappears. So I add like an inner corner wing, but then eyeshadow there, and it'll just change the angle more to where I want it to be. A pube brow, yeah, that's what I've said to people who have ever seen or touched my brows, that they feel like pubes. It's truth. And I don't know if you guys saw when I was doing my brows, no product in this universe works on my brows. The only thing that works that I've used is spirit gum. That's the only thing that keeps my brows in place. Teresa's gel doesn't work. Soap brows doesn't work. You can list any brow product, and I've tried. My brows will not stay. I need literal. Also, this is what Sir John uses on Beyonce. Just so you guys know.
It's the Slavic in you. That's what it
Brows. Is it just on the list?
Hi, gorgeous. How are you? How you doing?
Tia finally made it.
Tia has woken from a nap.
I'm assuming so.
Yeah. At any given moment, Tia has just woken up from a nap. I need to check in because I'm learning. I am but a student.
What do you need?
Is this all right?
You want to soften the edges a little more?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I'm just a hard bitch. That's what it is. There we go.
You want the edges almost invisible, because when we re-add color later and do the blends in between, we can reintroduce those colors. Just for now, we're gonna diffuse the blend so it's one.
See, this is.
Oh,
I will be checking in intermittently on this because I want to make sure that I'm doing.
Don't forget to lift your elbow a little more as well. That way. But that's what I mean, though. Look at the way the brush changes direction when you do that. As soon as you did that, it pointed down. But when you have it, you can do it in a way where, look at me, Teresa, instead of having to lean, just do this. Yeah, there you go. And then go for it. Yeah. That's why it's good if you're not used to doing that, get a desk. I'm used to doing it. And then when you're more confident with your brush control, obviously you don't have to have your arms so high, but with using particular brushes, it's so easy to get eyeshadow all the way up to your brows and then have no control over it. So angles are a huge thing. Like, look, I've still got space, but I've blended out loads already.
See, if they had taught us this in school, you know, when we were doing all the right angles, triangles and stuff, like if they had said, this is why this is important, do you know, we kind of said, let's learn about angles, then I'd be like, grand, I'll learn about angles.
I don't know if that's in England, Wilma. I'll have to look. But I buy this $5 a bottle on Amazon, and it lasts me 2 years. Like, I bought this like a year ago, and I don't think I'm even halfway. You literally only need the smallest amount. And I love, like, this is a real technique, but I love a metal comb to just get them up. And I don't fill them in because I like my brows looking a bit feathery and wild. That's just my own preference, you know. But I like the way they look.
Okay, I think this is actually
90-degree Frida. You were close, Demi. 45-degree to Frida.
Yeah, I feel like this is better.
Much better. Much better. Let me get another one of those brushes. You've got at least 3 of them, don't you?
I do.
That's good. Let me find mine because it's swimming in my redonkulous pile of brushes. Actually, should I go in with that shade or should I not? No, I won't. Yeah, we're gonna go in with the shade Rock now. So the one on the end, the lightest one on the end, on the left.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Yes.
Same thing. Stamp it on top of where you faded and bring it round.
I can do this. I believe in myself.
So, if you were needing to be out the door and you could master this fast, you could pop a shim and be out the door, cut the lid, add a wing. But we're taking this to the grunge level. So this is after we diffuse this, it's the plus steps.
Nice.
Because me and Teresa don't do things by halves.
Yeah. If you're gonna do it properly.
So, if you want just soft, simple smoke, how simple, but at the same time, if you look at the blend, it's clean. It's super duper clean. Hi there, Mindy. Oh, my eyes are different too, Wilma. I have a dip on this side, and also my hairline is different. One side goes further up and the other side's shorter, so when I do wings, and if I want to go long or bring all my eyeshadow up, it's sometimes like different because of the amount of space I have between my hairlines here. It's infuriating at times, but I roll with it.
Hello, Mindy. How are you, darling? I'm assuming that we're blending again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one you don't have to go so harsh because it's a lighter colour. I feel like lighter colours are easier to diffuse.
Faux show.
Let me do some swatching here and see which one goes best with. Oh yeah, we'll go with her.
Isn't it funny how we always gender makeup as her? Like we say, oh, she's blinding.
I feel like it's automatic now.
Yeah. Or she's giving. And you're like, oh, maybe they
Look how
are.
much I like this palette, Teresa.
I mean, to be fair, when you like something, you like something.
Oh, should we talk about the nubbins?
Yeah, I gave Daniella.
This was brand new.
Yeah, I gave her the Taupist lip liner by Lime Crime, which is no longer available, and the two of us have been basically kind of going, we need to try and find a dupe.
Yeah,
but
if anyone can find me a dupe to this, I will snog you. Sorry, James. But nowhere does this color exist, and as someone who's a true neutral, this is beautiful on me. It's like a perfect lip contour shade. It's so taupey, and nothing matches. And I've tried everything. I've bought Anastasia Deep Taupe. I've got Max Stone. Mind you, I love them both, but they're not the same.
no,
I've even gotten the Rodial Boss Babe that some people said was a dupe. It's not a dupe. Still looking. I will this is like my life's mission currently.
I think the only thing for it is we're going to have to start a brand and just do lip liners. That's what we're going to have to do.
Oh, Wilma, that's so sweet. Thank you. Try a taupe eyebrow pencil. See, I could, Demi, but this leans a smidge pinky purple. If you look, just a smidge, but it's not. Like if you put it next to another pink, it looks brown. It's such a weird color. It's a Lime Crime Taupist. Like I would give anything to like if someone said, "Oh, I have one of these in a box," I would buy it immediately. And like I said, this was brand new. What was it? July when you gave me this. That's how much I enjoyed this. And when I love something, Teresa knows this. She's seen my nubby lipsticks.
Yeah.
I will wear like I only got this palette less than 2 months ago, and I'm already not far off panning some of these, and that's what happens when I like something.
I mean, I gave her the extra one that I had, which shows how much I love Daniella, because I really like that lip liner as well. So I was like, here, I bequeath this unto you. So Bequeath. It's a fabulous word. Sue said about finding the Pantone color. Sue is, by the way, a fucking amazing makeup detective. The amount of times I get like messages from her where she's like clarifying something or she's saying something about ingredients, and I'm like, oh, that I didn't know about, and I'm like, oh, she's fabulous. Thank you, Sue. Hugely appreciate you. You're a doll.
Lime
Also,
crime topaz. I'm not sure what. Okay. I'm not sure what Pantone this is because it is such a unique color. Let me save this image and zoom in so you guys can see what I mean. So this is pretty correct with. So when you see topaz there, it looks really purple on my screen, but it's not.
yeah.
Because when you compare it to like the other shades, like it's nowhere near as pink, but it's also sort of fits in with the brown. It's such an odd shade.
There's like a grey undertone to it.
Yeah. And if I, for example, like Max Stone's my other favorite, but that's not getting discontinued. Swatch that next to it. But when you swatch like a regular brown next to it, you see what I mean? It's got such a weird tone. And other more purpley lip liners I found are too purple or too berry. It's just, again, and I've tried different ones. It's definitely a hard one to do.
Well, like literally, if I can find a dupe for it of the same shade, I'll buy a bunch of them. Like, because I'm stupid. We know this about me. That I'm like, I like this, I buy it. La la la. Again, see previous part of video where I said that I bought my feelings.
Do we want a yellowy tone or more of a paler tone? Or should we go with both? I'm just swatching because I tend to mix and match.
Oh, pinchy chic liners. I wonder.
I'm willing to try anything. And a lot of people are trying to find dupes online, so I think if we find it, a lot of people will be happy because I don't understand why they ever discontinued it.
I think Lime Crime is on the way out. I think they're
Sad because I like a lot of this stuff, especially since Doe was kicked out.
But like, there's been nothing new from them. Nothing. Okay.
I'm
So
dipping into these two, but I'm using a larger brush on its own. We don't need the smaller brush anymore.
Perfect.
And what I like to do, actually, I might as well just show you this tip now because it's one of my favorite tips of all time. Where have I put you? Let me quickly wipe this down.
Demi, I didn't bring that much makeup actually.
Also, do I own Bratz hand towels? Yes, I do.
Of course you do. Of course you do. I just brought this palette, the Lavender Skies, a Mitchell case, some Danessa Myricks foil thingies, and then just general base products. That's it.
To get my blends as clean as I do, besides this method, I mix colors all the time. So I'm going to swirl a load in here, get a clean surface, tap it all out, mix it, and then you have your own in-between custom shade. And that's how I get the shades in between clean every time because I mix each blending shade in between and then go in between them all after I've done this. And that's how I get it perfect every time. And that way you don't need in-between shades, make them yourself.
Oh, well, this just pleases me.
And with this massive brush, I just blend this all the way out to my temples, just all the way out.
All the way out.
But this is one of my favorite ever tips. I've got loads of other eyeshadow tips, but that's if Teresa will have me on a second time.
Yes, please. Sorry, that was said far too eagerly. Play it coy. Yeah, maybe. I might have you on again. Now, obviously, with Daniella's schedule, because as she previously said, she's in school. I don't want to be like taking away any energy from her. So we might wait until maybe like
half
Easter break.
term.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Easter break, something like that. Because again, I don't want to be putting you under stress or making you feel like, oh, I have to do this particular thing. Because like you've enough on, And
Thank you. RT just said she remembers when I taught her that.
Aw. Love
It's
you,
a good
Tia.
tip.
How are you doing, Tia? How's my girl? I loved the videos you sent of the snow and the sledding.
Oh, the tropical paradise she lives in.
Yeah, fucking bastard. I say that with love. I feel like I should be Finnish. Like, I would get on well in that sort of a habitat. It's cold. It's dark. Lots of snow.
You let me know when you're ready. But you see, I blended it all the way out. So don't worry about how extra it looks because we clean it up at the end. But right now, she's soft. She's cute. But we're going to amp this bad boy up in a minute. Teresa, instead of buffing, I know it sounds weird, but once you get the shadow, just stamp it right on in. Just get it in there.
Right.
It blends real nice like that.
Perfect.
Just let it do its thing.
Yeah.
Because I know you're very focused on detailed blending, and I'm trying to show you that you can get the same effect with different techniques, and it's time saving.
Oh, I love this.
Because people will sit and go for hours and hours and hours on end, and fair play, but
I mean,
same thing, different techniques.
It's almost like you're a pro.
Almost.
You almost tricked me, you silly goose.
Also,
Okay.
don't be scared to sort of bring it around here as well. It'll soften it in a part just a little bit. You don't need to dip in too much. Just use what's left on the brush.
No, let me dip in. I'm enjoying the makeup science where I'm getting to make new shades. Let me dip in. You can't tell me what to do. Except you can.
With this kind of primer, there won't be bold spots, and the trick is to use an extra large blender. So, as you can see, it's huge. I'm just building and building and building. Blending like that leads to bold spots if you're going in too much, is because you're over blending. And some people do that, and that's why you end up having to pack on colours and then pack on colours and then pack on colours, because you end up blending them away.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's good to just sort of let the shadows do the work for you.
Delegate. Okay, how is this, Daniella? Is this looking okay?
It's looking really cute. So we go back in with our first brush that we used for this shade. For the chocolatey tone.
First brush.
Yeah, the chocolatey tone one.
Perfect. So back into Bride Tribe.
Back into Bride Tribe, but then into Milestone. So remember how I said we're mixing?
Yes.
So you wanna mix. So swirl in one, swirl in the other, tap it out onto here.
Perfect.
But then with just the tip off the brush, just stamp it in between. So right here. So in between the first two shades.
Ah.
So not only is it diffused underneath, it will blend even more once it's... I just really like this palette. builds and buffs really nicely. Oh, Tia. Don't worry, Tia. Things will pick up. They're gonna get so much better for you. Oh, I need to cross my legs.
Moving is so stressful to you. It's awful. But it might be good as well for you to have like a new start and kind of put your own stamp on a new place and, you know, get things the way that you want them. So hopefully it'll all go well.
Guys, I just need to win the lottery and buy us all houses.
A commune together. Come live in Ireland. We'll all live in Ireland together.
Can we all have like a little cul-de-sac between us?
Yes.
And have what we call Wednesday breakfast and bitch fest time, where we just sit, eat breakfast, and then bitch about the worst parts of our lives, but then talk about the best parts.
Oh, I love this. That's a fabulous idea.
Breakfast club, literally. Oh, Demi. Whenever I've had to move, I get when my friend takes me from one place to the other, and we have a lorry, all my makeup goes in the car, not in the lorry. So I feel you.
I mean, when I was doing the move, everything was going, like all the makeup was going in the car. So
Now, also, you don't have to diffuse this step once you've put the shadows on.
yeah.
So next brush up, if you remember. So we're going into charming, but then we're also going into value. We weren't going to use it, but we're going to use it now.
Okay.
So mix the two, tap them out, and then in between those other shades. And if your eyeshadow looks a little bigger, it's fine. We're doing it grunge anyway. You can see I'm barely putting any pressure on these shadows. Like I'm just sort of letting them do their thing.
Nice.
Your cousin was a designated makeup driver. I bet you were like ringing him and being like, "Is it safe? Don't drop anything." I like that. Like a makeup convoy. Just cleaning my thing, ready for more eyeshadow. And if you're worried about having too much product on your eyeshadow, get a napkin or a towel and just... Especially if you're using the same colours. And then that way you won't muddy it up if you're worried about that.
There we go.
Ooh.
That all
Yeah,
right?
there we go. So, and now we're going to go into value and rock and do the same again towards the outer, but not so far still. So just think like a couple millimeters extra outside, so not too far.
I'm just enjoying the mixing, if I'm 100% honest.
But look at that.
Yeah.
It's clean. And we haven't even deepened stuff up yet, and we're going to do that too. Like I said, you could have stopped this ages ago and kept it simple, but we're taking it to that fun level today. And think of all the different color variations you can do with this as well. If you know your color theory, like if anyone out there wants best tips of being an MUA or doing your own makeup and coming up with color combinations, learn color theory. If it works for painters, it works for your face.
I'm just imagining this as green.
And see what I mean? How even though he had white under the brows, it's not harsh anymore.
Yeah.
Plus, when you do the underbrow highlight and everything's put together, it's not going to be a noticeable thing. Like, I like to create extra space for blending so when it cleans up, it looks extra clean. You make the mess, but then eradicate the mess, if that makes any sense at all. So now, with that final big boofy, I call it big boofy boy. I like the word boofy. I'm gonna go into. Hold on, let me dust these off. I don't blow on my palettes. There we go. Let's go into rock, milestone, and loyalty. So dip 1, dip 2, dip 3. Tap that bad boy out again, and just don't go all the way out with this one. Just go to about here, and then use the paler shade on its own, just on the outside.
Perfect.
And that way, it's just a softer blend. It's not just a harsh color all the way out. So use loyalty at the end, just on its own on the outer edge. Just use that same brush because it has similar tones. This one's safe to do with because it's pale. Hey, James.
Hello, sir. How are you? Can I just say this is reminding me of like old days of YouTube, back before things were super, super toxic and it was just nice and supportive and just people hanging out.
Yeah, I feel that.
I'm like, this is nice. This is like a throwback to nice times.
I dipped into loyalty and the white for the end part, by the way, but not too much, just a little bit.
Perfect. So loyalty and what was it? Was it yours?
The white, the yours truly.
Perfect.
Not too much white, just a little bit. Just right at the end, so you can see it has like a nicer gradient and doesn't stay yellow all the way to the end.
Yep.
Because there is like, it's quite sandy toned makeup, so
yeah,
we just want soft. So when it comes to grunge, you know, a lot of people start grunge darkest first, and I don't know if you guys saw, but I start mid-tone first. I don't start lightest, I don't start darkest, I start middle tone first. Blend it outwards, and then I add the depth at the end, because with grunge and blending like this, it can get too muddy too quick. This gives you a lot more control. It's how I get that sort of seamless look with my blends, but still being really grungy and out there and extra and dark where it needs to be. Obviously, if it was a black smoke, start black first, that kind of thing, you know, whatever. But, you know, I feel like with grunge, the reason why I like it so much is it makes me look, you know, it makes me feel badass when I wear it, but there's also a softness to it. It's both soft and fierce, and that's, you know, for me, it's like fun. And if you ever have bags and you blend your eyeshadow all the way down it and it's deliberate, it just looks hot. You just look tired on purpose. It's fun for days you can't be asked. Dear James, hello. I don't know why I sounded like Mrs. Doubtfire there.
Hello.
Hello.
Now go and dunk your face into a cake.
Teresa's going to be happy because we need a smaller blender now. More of a, like, a little Pacquioni blender.
Pacquioni blender.
Yeah, because we're going on to the lead. Perfect. That's got a nice edge for blending as well. So, Should we let the chat pick what depth we go for? Because we can go with anything here.
Whoa.
So we can stick with the same row and go with a chocolate. We can go in with a plum, or we could go in with a black, or we could do chocolate black or plum chocolate. Let's see what wins. Do 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 do. Deep. Well, they're all deep, but what?
Knowing a lot
tones?
about their personal lives now, the fact that they're going straight to deep. Thank you, Demi. I want plum chocolate. Because that
Plum
sounds
chocolate
delicious.
just sounds sexy. It just
It does,
sounds
doesn't it?
delicious.
Same, Demi. I
Plummy.
love food right now.
So, Teresa, we're going to go into the shade. Look at this colour, by the way.
Oh.
Marry Me. Next to the black.
Yes.
Load the bad boy up. One side. So, imagine your eye as in thirds.
Yep.
Out a third. Do not go outside the crease. Just the lid. Press that smoky bad boy on. So, there.
Perfect. I can do it. I believe in me.
Mine's a little further in, but that's just because I don't mind. It does its own thing. So you see, I sort of press it into the crease, but I don't go past the crease. I love aubergine plummy shadows, Demi, like so much. And quite often I've been able to buy an entire palette for a good plum. It's like my neutrals. It's one of the few shades that make me feel very, very sexy when I wear it.
I mean, you're currently on the lookout for like a plummy, aubergine eyeliner.
I am, but not this color, like more of a blue purple deep because I have one this kind of color and it sort of leans almost burgundy, but I really want like
Like a
when
cool
people
tone.
think plum they think like reddy purple. I kind of want like the outside skin of a plum, like bluey. Oh, it's such a literally aubergine. I think I sent Teresa a picture not long ago.
You did, yeah.
Let me see if I can find that because it's hard to explain without showing it.
Eggplant.
Yeah.
Thank you, Demi. The lovely Sarah made this for me. The mirror.
It's really nice. I can't carry it though because my hands are crap. So I have loads that kind of color and that kind of color, but I want that kind of color. So that as a pencil liner. Come to mama. Imagine that.
I love that we've got Wilma saying plummy chocolate was my drag queen name in high school. So I feel very happy now that we've got the drag name in high school tagline in to the chat. That has pleased me. Is this all right?
That looks really nice.
Constant reassurance is what I need.
So now we're gonna go into. So remember this top row.
Yes.
Remember we started with Bride Tribe.
Yes.
We're gonna go in with one of these brushes. Just use the deep one because this is deeper, so it's fine.
Yes.
Tap a little bit into Blessings.
Okay.
Just a little bit because we don't want to overpower it. And you see where this is married here. We just want to stamp it into the crease in between the brown and the plum, and it will just marry it.
Perfect.
So this is where we start adding depth to the look, so it's not just soft. And if you're like me and you want to add more, Teresa, if you're feeling fancy, dip between Blessings and Centerpiece and just go a little further in towards the purple, but don't go over the purple, but just sort of keep it there. Because those browns are really nice together. I really, really, like I said, this palette just plays ball. Hi, Jen. Jen has made it.
Hello, darling.
And when you're ready, because I know you'll remember this, just dip back between Charming and Bribe Tribe very lightly with one of your brushes. And just gently stamp and buff out where that deep edge is. And it will just blend in with the rest.
So which ones again, sorry?
Bride Tribe and Charming.
Bride Tribe and...
And just like stamp on top of the edges. You don't have to take it outwards. It just keeps everything tidy. Like, I know this is a long tutorial, but when I'm doing this by myself, I can knock this out with this amount of blend in 20 minutes.
Well, yeah, to be fair, like, you are literally, like, going through this step by step with me. So obviously it's going to take longer to do this right now.
Yeah, because I don't want people thinking, oh, this is so many steps. Like, when you get used to it, it doesn't take long at all.
No, I can totally see that.
Like, once you get comfortable with the blending, the angles, what you're doing, it's... I love seeing looks marinate together. I like that word. Marinate.
Not just for chicken.
Like me the last week in bed with food. Just marinating. That's looking really pretty.
I think this is going together quite well.
Yeah, look at that though. She's smoky.
Yeah.
I like to also, me personally, I like to dip into a little bit of black with a little brush. And this is where I add the black, people. Out of E, that's it. And don't worry about blending it.
Can I see the brush? What sort of brush do you have so I can
It's
copy?
just tiny, anything that fits the out of E. That doesn't go into the crease. Like, you can tidy up the brown if you want to, but the black is there to kind of make a statement when your eyes are open, so it doesn't really matter. It just adds extra depth. I just stamp it on, I don't even blend it on. You must have powerful farts, Demi. Just gonna... I just add a bit more where it's needed for me, personally. There we go. What do you think of the whole tapping as opposed to crazy blending, by the way?
I love it. Please be aware all of my videos now, from now on, are just going to be me tapping shit on.
Get that big brush one last time, get closer. You see where that side's fine, but the other side, you just want to tap it over a little more.
Which side? This side?
That side.
This side?
Yes. So you want to get your big brush and just stamp all over the edges a little bit.
Perfect.
Use a little bit of Rockin' Yours Truly on the edge. It'll soften the edges. Also, if you guys ever want to do it with one color, and you want to blend out a shadow without adding pigment, get a brush like this, a little bit of translucent powder, and you can blend the edge away without adding pigment and without removing pigment. That's also a really good tip. I don't know why I feel like we need music when it's quiet. I'm so bad with awkward silences.
Na, 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 na. There we go. Enjoy.
I loved it. 10 out of 10.
Thank you. Can you tell I'm classically trained? I actually am. That's what's terrible.
That's the funny part.
Believe it or not, classically trained singer.
I am not classically words. I am not classically trained.
Oh,
White.
this is totally. Can I just? And it's in no way related to this life. But lads, those of you who know me know I am like really into music and I love musical theatre, etc. There's a part of my TikTok that has wandered off into like musical theatre, and I stumbled upon this one particular creator, and they've done this whole like conceptual thing around like Odysseus, you know, the Greek myth, and they have like a whole 3 albums all around like the Odyssey. It's so good. So if at any point I've gone very quiet, it's because I'm thinking of the songs of that in my head. So for those who are into that, look it up. It's called Epic Saga.
Kelsey, I think it's because she used big fluffy brushes. But again, like when you're used to brush control, which she was an MUA and she's MAC trained, like windshield wiping works when you have big brushes like this. Like sometimes I do that too. Depends. It depends on what you need or what you're using. Also, we don't need wipes yet, actually. I almost forgot. You can use a packer or a blender. I'm just going to use a blender. So I'll let the chat pick. So palette number 2 that me and Teresa chose for both shimmers and potentially mattes was Gloss Gods Lavender Skies. Should we use a lavender here, or should we go in with a white and then jazz it up with sparkles? Yeah, Punchline is too chocolatey. I own that one, but thank you, Sue.
This is what I'm saying. Isn't Sue amazing?
Yeah,
incredible.
Yeah, no, I own Punchline. Lavender. I think lavender's going to be the winner here, to be fair. And also, Teresa gave me this, and this is so perfect. Like these colors, all of these tones of purple are so me.
For those who watched my Gloss Gods unboxing, a chunk of the stuff that I had as like duplicates went to Daniela and to Tia. So I sent off stuff to Daniela because Daniela's putting together like a box for Tia. So in case you're wondering, that's...
I'm actually going to smooth out my primer a little first. So just dip in, Teresa, and just go in with the lilac on the inner portion.
Perfect.
And I take it, this is a really good tip, guys. If you have a brighter shadow and you want to extend it up your eye shape, don't just go on your lid. Blend it up towards your brow and then bring it up a little bit here. So almost like an L shape there, but keep it there. But like immediately, the difference is huge. I'm using First Light, by the way, out of the palette. It's pale enough. It's the left-hand corner. I tap it on and then bring it up. Obviously, do that little thing again here. This color is actually perfection, though. Is Gloss God spenny, Teresa?
Like this palette, I think it's like €36. In
So,
my mind,
in pounds, about £25 to £28-ish. That's not bad. I'd pay that. Demi, I want to make an order in the next couple of months. So if you want to have a couple of months break, we can do a double order if you want and sort it out. Save some money on shipping because it is from another country.
Yeah, it's from Sweden.
Yeah. Because there's a whole Galaxy range out and a neutral palette, and I've got my eyeball on the lot. Eyeballs.
I mean, I just think that for the quality, I think the price is incredible.
With the same brush, because it's fine, I'm going to dip into a tiny bit of Dawn. This one here, Teresa. Bottom row, second. Just a tiny bit, and I just tickle the middle where the plum is and that, just to give it a little bit of, like, gradient. Not too much, just nothing.
Perfect.
It just softens it, because I'm not a fan of... Also, don't be scared to tap your eyeshadow with your fingers if you think your brushes are too harsh. But I'm not a fan of sharp lines in eyeshadow, so... Unless it's, like, edges where you're carving out and stuff. Or, like, full-on. cut creases. I like a soft look, especially with grunge. Oh, Demi, there's a whole bunch. You need to look on their Instagram. Like the shimmers in this are bonkers, and I may have found my all-time favorite multi-chrome in this palette here, like, or one of them at least. How are you finding the tapping on process as opposed to meticulously blending everything?
I really like it. As I said, I'm going to be doing this all the time now.
Here's a close-up, guys, so you can see how clean everything looks. And sometimes I will drag the deeper out, like, or more or less, or however I'm feeling. Just follow the same rules. The Look for Rainbows palette is beautiful. That Tia has that one.
Okay, this is what I have.
I love those shades on you. You need a wipe on your finger tight so it doesn't make a mess. So we're going to be cleaning up our edges. So you angle your shadow the way you want to. I can do this without even looking at this point, but this is the kind of angle I go for. On both sides. But look immediately how clean that looks. You make a mess to clean it up, and that's the way I do my thing. Again, I have downturned eyes. I personally like a bit of a higher angle. I've tried the whole puppy eyes thing, and on me, I hate it. So, you know, it's all preference. But immediately, look how clean the gradient is. There's no muddiness. Clean lines. Let's see. Take your glasses. Yes. Okay, we need to get back on the white, by the way. We're not done.
Ooh.
So, one of my favorite things to do lately, and this gets a little finicky, so take your time with this one. I carve out to about here with my wipe and clean this spot up completely.
Okay.
It'll make sense once the base is on, but I've been doing this non-stop lately. And you see where there's like a line to about here, so about a third into your brow, I'd say, or almost halfway in. And do it on both sides. I did this on your eyes when I did your eyes, by the way, Teresa.
I know, yes.
Nice and sharp. Yeah, Demi, I know exactly what you mean. But it is the best way to sort of clean up a look, you know, give yourself the space to make a mess. But immediately, look how much cleaner that looks.
There we go.
That looks so clean, but look at that. Look at the blend. Look how clean it looks. And even though we like made a mess outward, cleaning it up, it just gave it that softness, and that line also gives it that fierceness. So we're gonna go in with shims now. And do you want to pick whatever shim you want, or do you want to follow what I'm doing?
I'll follow what you're doing. I've come this far.
Okay. Well, I'm going to use Dreamscape because that's my baby right now. I'm going to stick my finger right in there.
Lovely.
Actually, I'm going to take a little more. But we're going to do... Remember the back of your hand trick?
Yes.
Oh, by the way. Why is it so pretty?
I know.
Teresa, that smile. I've said this to Teresa so many times. She has the best smile.
It's a manic smile. That's what it is. I've been let out of the asylum.
So right in the middle where those shades meet, tap very lightly. So tiniest amount of pressure. Don't go crazy. Start tapping in the middles and sort of bring it up. You see to where I go to about here.
Yeah.
With this. It is stunning, Demi. Like I can't get over it. And it's like golden in the pan and lilac. Like, wish you could see better. Come in there, please, sir. Oh, see up my nose. That's not what I want to do. Oh, never mind. You'll see it if you ever get it. You'll see it. It's like gold, lavender, pink. It's a bit of everything.
I mean, I so recommend their stuff.
As you can see, I put less pressure on towards the tops, so there's not too much colour up there, but there's still something. I just love how much control you can get with your fingers. If you guys want like a day and night look, and obviously you did this look and you want to keep it matte, sensible during the day, even without shimmer on, any kind of shimmer like this, you can diffuse on the back of your hand. So you can have it full on, where you can go in, put it on, tons of shimmer. But if you diffuse it and really diffuse it and then tap it on, you can have like this kind of effect on lids. Good for people like even like bridals, because even on camera it doesn't show up too glittery, but during the day it gives you enough sparkle to give you that extra pizzazz if you want it. Demi's asking if you know how much the rainbow palette is.
Let me check.
Because she says it's out of stock online.
I can ask the owner what the story is, because sometimes we message each other.
Oh, there you go. You have an insider.
I have an inside track, but not really. I would assume it's the same as look for rainbows. So I would assume it's going to be the same as the rest. So 439 SEK. So let me see, SEK to GBP.
Demi, it's not what you know, it's who you know. True.
£34.
Worth it. This also, can I just say the mattes in these are really nice, so worth it.
There's nothing about it that I dislike.
Yeah. We're going to go into the gold now, because I've been wanting to do a purple and gold look for a while.
Lovely.
Same thing, diffuse. Also, you can do this with a brush. I just like to use my fingers. I feel like the oiliness of your fingers are quite nice for spreading sparkles, whereas a brush, it can sort of spray everywhere.
Yeah.
So I like to go quite light with it and build it, but I'm going towards the inner portion, not all the way in. You want to see some of that lavender. So sort of marry the inside portion with that and sort of bring it in, and then just add more as you go. You don't have to go too, like, I always start small because I feel like if you add too much, it's harder to remove. And then sort of marry it up the top with this guy here. That's looking cute. Yeah, this is like such a peachy, yellowy. I've also got the other one here that Teresa gave me, but I didn't think she brought it. I might have forgotten to mention it, but the What's Your Power? Look at these. This one looks neon. Color Rain looks really nice.
Oh, it's beautiful, yeah.
I definitely want the neutral ones as well.
And Daniela wants the neutral one. How very unusual.
Not unusual to
Oh,
want
Mindy,
neutral.
I'm sure they'll bring it back. There's no way that they wouldn't, because that was so friggin' popular. Like, so popular.
And if you really like your shims to pop, I like to go in with a juicy amount on the tip of my finger of the original, but right at the base, there, like that.
Mm.
You see, everything else is diffused and blended together, and now I've got that shift. It's almost like the hourglass technique when you're doing a halo eye, but you just add it to other looks. I have so much glitter on my hands. Do, 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 do. Do you want to do your own base as you do it, Teresa? Or would you like some base tips as we go through that too?
I will do my own base. I will do that because we won't give too many tips in one go.
Okay.
Save something
We're gonna
for
save
next
some for
time.
later. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
I really like that. You could even go a little heavier if you wanted to.
I probably could. Yes. I think I will.
There you go. So that's mine.
Beautiful. It's very upsetting though that you're that beautiful.
I think I excrete glitter, Wilma, at this point.
Oh, lucky James.
That response though.
Do you know what though?
Also, Teresa also gave me these, Demi. And I've been using these. I used this in yesterday's look, like these two, for that sort of silvery. These are bonkers.
Aren't they?
Also, this, even though it's matte into satins, the black in this is really good. Use it quite a lot.
There's nothing that they kind of have done that I'm like, oh, I'm not that keen on it. It's very annoying.
Ooh, my shoulders. Excuse my stretching break.
How dare
What
you?
have I spilt on myself?
I didn't watch him.
Oh, that's so pretty. Do you want to add another shimmer, or do you like the two?
Hmm?
Do you want to add another shimmer, or do you like the two?
I'm happy where it is now. I'm afraid if I add any more, it's just going to look a bit chaotic on me.
Well, tip for other people, if you ever have, because I've got my Danessa here, so I'm just going to use it just to show. But if you have like a deep shimmer that you want to mix some of the black or a black shimmer, so I could use a blue, or I could go in with this sort of purpley green. Actually, have I got I've got the other one as well, so I could just go in. I want to find like a deep purpley tone. That doesn't mean. Oh yeah, we'll just use trans because it's like blue purple as opposed to green purple. And right on the edge, just next to that black, just a tiny weeny bit. Just a tiny, tiny, weeny bit. It just adds.
The Danessa palettes, they cost a lot. They do, but oh my god, they're so good to have.
I think this is controversial opinion. You get this many shades for £100.
It's good value.
18, I think, correctly.
Yeah.
Go to Pastel Roses, go to Terra Moons, buy 18 shadows for £100. You can't.
No.
Not for this quality. Same with the other one. Try and get this many multi-chromes for the price point that this palette sells for. I've used this all year long. Like, I've loved the crap out of this. And literally, as you saw, I need the tiniest bit. If I wanted to coat my entire face in one colour, I would not need a whole pan. Worth its weight in gold. And I don't care what people say. That I will buy every one of these every year. And if I have to live on copper soups.
The Lightwork 5, the Lightwork V, is now on sale for £98.60, so it's 15% off.
I think as well on Guru Makeup Emporium, if you buy a Danessa palette, you get it for 68.
There you go.
So you got options.
Yeah. Well, I'd highly recommend them. I have the little 3-1, the 8-pan one. I have 4 and I have 5. So yeah, I'm a fan. I love them.
I own quite a bit, but no, I've never owned a palette that made me holy crap like this has.
You feel
Like,
very
I
strong.
opened it and I was just like, and people go, oh, but you can get this quality and this and that. Actually, no, you can't. No, you can't. You don't know until you get these and try them. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, where? Tell me where. And that's barely touching it. Tell me where I can get 18 of these for £100 from any other brand. Tell me I'm not saving my money. Tell me I haven't girl mathed the crap out of this.
Oh yeah. No, it's so worth it. Like when you actually break it down to the number of shades that you're getting, the quality that you're getting. Like yes, it's a big one-off spend, but the value that you get from it is damn good. If you're going to be using it all the time. If, however, you're just going to take it out every so often and look at it, yeah, probably not the thing to get. You know, if you're not going to get use out of it. Like, I don't think like Wilma would get any use out of it because Wilma wouldn't be using multi-chromes, etc. in her look. So like, it'd make no sense for her.
Yeah.
But like, for people who are into that, it is a damn good one to get. Yeah, Janet is similar to me in that she has like a big collection. So you may have stuff that like dupes it, and like you're right not to go off and just grab it just in case. I
had a good collection, but not as big as yours.
Yeah,
maybe like almost halfway to yours.
Yeah, mine is just silly though. Silly, like a goose.
Honk.
Honk honk, indeed.
All right, well, we're doing base.
Yes.
So ask me MUA questions, blah, 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 whatever you guys want to do. If Darcy is Darcy still here?
Human.
Yes. I was going to show my base routine.
Oh, yeah.
So tip number 1, anyone that's oily, get a napkin, blot your face. And I blot really well. And as it's been a while and I've done eyes first, all my skincare has done what it needs to.
Oh, I forgot to bring my NARS concealer pot to cover spots, but sure, look, whatever. I have spots. It is what it is. We'll all cope with it. It'll be fine.
What other concealer do you have?
I only brought this.
I'm sure it will do.
Yeah. Bit grand. But also I'm kind of like, I'm okay with showing spots. Like, it doesn't bother me.
Well, I haven't primed my face yet, so if you want to prime your skin with sunscreen and primer, do it that way. But I blot before my primers and stuff in general because otherwise, you know, I'm quite oily. This just helps keep that under control and not layer too many products on top of each other. But if you've already had your skin soaking water, I also think it depends on whether you're using a sunscreen, like a mineral or a chemical one. Because I'm sure one of them is more of a physical sunscreen and one's obviously more of a chemical sunscreen. So you could always blot your skincare and then add your sunscreen and primer after as well. So that is an option. I would say if you're worried, blot first and then apply some sunscreen and your primer as usual. If they play ball together, you're fine. But again, I like to keep my oils in check. So I know that my skincare has done what it needs to already. Like, personally. I like to use my MAC Hyperreal Canvas Balm first. This has been my favorite find, and I don't know if you guys ever watched my old streams or those who did. Those who did will remember that the Too Faced Hangover Primer was my absolute favorite. I've not bought it in over a year because of this. Also, as you notice, I use tiny amounts. I don't glob stuff on like you see people on TikTok just globbing product on.
Oh, yeah.
I like the trick of wearing lots of makeup, but done correctly. So I layer stuff correctly and a bit at a time. Also, where my blends and stuff are going there, don't worry about that. It will all come together at the end. Like, I don't like adding too much product. So I know some people before were talking about how they struggle with the Milk Primer. I found the best way of using it. It's not the best if your hands are cold, just FYI. Mine aren't at the minute, luckily, but I have had some mornings. One pump. Just one. Really, really, really warm it up between the fingers. So just like, till there's almost nothing left. Like, really warm it up, and then press it all into the T-zone. Globbing is the best word ever. There's a lot of words that I like in the English language. Love the word guacamole. I love the word panini.
Oh, the singular for panini is panino.
Sounds like a gangster.
It's like
El Don Panino.
The plural for cul-de-sac is cul-de-sac.
Do you wish the plural for sheep and salmon is sheeps and salmons?
Yeah.
Because I do.
I convinced my brother when I was very young that the plural for sheep was shoop.
So as you guys can see, there's a tackiness, but there's plenty on my face primer-wise. Like, this is all I need. I'm just going to IsoClean and wipe down the thing I had eyeshadow all over because I'm going to be using it for my base. Because I have two of these, but I don't know where the other one has disappeared off to.
Maybe somebody stole it.
The single for confetti is confetto. Why does that sound like a knockoff ice cream?
Yeah. Go eat your confetto.
I love the faces you're pulling when you blend.
Who, me? Yeah. You're welcome. They're my sex faces.
Ooh.
Like, even though I have Botox, I can still move my face.
Two things, and it sounds weird. One of my favorite mixes is a skin tint mixed with a foundation. Those who haven't tried this yet need to. It's so cheap and it's so nice. The Wet n Wild skin tint. But I want a little more coverage, and I find that the YSL All Out is the new reformulated one, not the old one. This one's amazing. The old one was very drying. I just do one pump. So imagine 2 pumps of the Wet n Wild, 1 pump of the YSL for balance. What makeup brush do I use? I might just use my favorite. My favorite is my Melt 708. And I like to mix on my little tray. Dot the bad boy on. I don't bother with the covering spots thing purely because I can't be asked.
Fair.
Oh, I should move my necklace because I am going to blend my down my neck a little bit. So then the plural of a cornetto is cornetti. That's what the box should be called.
Yes.
I like this conversation we're having. But who else thinks it should be salmons and sheeps? Cactuses.
Cacti. So then is it hippopotami?
Octopi, I think, as well. What's the plural of lasagna then? I'd like to have multiple lasagnas. Lasagne.
Lasagnos.
It just sounds posh.
Lasagno.
I think lasagne is Kanye's alter ego.
Oh yeah. No, that's what he is when he goes to Italy.
Lasagne. Sorry. It tickles me more than it should.
We're so highbrow over here on this channel.
So this color match is really nice. No, all my redness isn't gone, but I don't care. Once everything else is on, you're not going to notice it. Also, did I forget? No, I didn't. Thank God. I thought I forgot to put powder on there. I did not. I love to buff my foundation in. The plural of lasagna is yummo. I like that.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
I just sort of stamp over where the eyeshadow is there. Don't mind if I get it in my eyebrows, I can clean it up. I do want to block out a little bit more of that redness, so I will put one more pump of YSL All Hours just on the tray, just a little bit.
Just little bit.
Yeah, I'm not going to take the lot, just where I need it. Again, I like to build, I don't like to add too much. Am I back?
Yes.
Yeah, I grayed out for a sec there, I think.
Oh. The sound went strange. Oh, I'm getting feedback.
Are we having technical difficulties?
I think so.
It grayed out for a sec for me. Can everyone else hear us fine? Oh, that's a Jackie Ina trick, Demi. Also, if you ever have an updo, don't forget to put foundation on your ears. I've just done it for show there. I didn't need to, but might as well. That's better. Enjoying the reverb. Can't hear me. Should I leave and come back?
If that's an option, possibly.
Give me a minute.
Let's hope she can get back in. That's what I thought as well. Like I was getting like echo. Add. There we go. There we go. That's much better.
The whole, have you tried unplugging and plugging it back in again? Do a dance, entertain the masses.
Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight.
Audio's back to normal. Sweet. Yeah. Also, I'm going to show you guys how I do a speedy base. Because I can layer creams and stuff, but if we're going to do a base live next time, I'm just going to do my faster base today.
Yes.
So I'm not going to bother with all my creams. I'm just going to go straight in with powders.
Ooh.
Why do you prefer a brush over sponge for foundation? Mostly hygiene. I hate when you do a course and you see the bacteria that lives in a sponge. No, thank you. Even if doesn't matter how well you wash them, that mold is going to grow in the middle. It's a damp thing. And I'm someone who has PCOS. Like, I grow an annoying amount of facial hair, I have an annoying amount of cystic acne. I take very good care of my skin, and I anally clean my brushes after every use. I sanitize them after every use on myself. I don't let them sit and linger. They get cleaned immediately after a look. So for me, hygiene. And for me as well, I get a nice finish. I think with a nice dense buffing brush, nothing that you can't do that a sponge differs from, but I just don't like sponges. It's cracked. So I don't know how many people do things the way I do, but before I even set my base, so my base is still wet, I haven't powdered, I go straight in with bronzer and blush. Not even like if I'm getting ready for uni in the morning, I'll skip the creams, and this lasts just as long on me. I wash them about the same, but I clean them after every use. But I go straight in with bronzer and blush, powder bronzer and blush before I even powder my face. So if I'm being fast, that's what I do in the morning. Oh, I've got a hair in the way. Go away. Also, I might not even bother with concealer today. We shall see. I just think that when you're doing grunge, you don't really need concealer under the eyes because you're going to smoke it out a ton. So what's the point of adding loads of product under the eyes? I have an on me, it patches up, but I do have difficult skin. Like, not only do I grow hair, I have to pluck and shave every day, every single day. And I use a man razor on my face. Like, just being blunt and honest and like transparent. I don't care. Like, I don't care what people's opinions are. If I left my face for 2 weeks, I'd probably have a full on 5 o'clock shadow at least. I've pulled inch hairs out of my face almost daily. And I blunt my tweezers literally every month. I have to get like a new set of tweezers. I've never found the perfect tweezers yet. And I managed to keep my skin looking like this, albeit that, so I must be doing something right. I do like doing all powders. I've used powder foundation quite often. I'm just enjoying this vibe. Also, my favorite JCat Aquassurance, which I used to buy in the UK, but now they don't sell it there. I can't get it easily. So unless I buy it from America and pay loads in shipping, I can't get that powder foundation. And I like the MAC one too, but the Aquassurance is my favorite. And I've not really been too focused on foundations and stuff lately because I'm trying to be good and use what I have because I went a bit crazy last year. So I'm just vibing with what I own, unless it's something like the Wet n Wild, which is only like £6. Also, I love this bronzer so much. Can you see it's still blending? It's not patching anywhere, and this is on a wet base. And I stamp everything on. Also, I will give you this one tip. If you use a brush like this or a bronzer brush, I like to go to the edge. You can do this with your bronzer if you want to, Teresa. And I stamp it over the shadow on the edge so it all blends together.
Ah, smart.
I'm not afraid of anyone finding out my stuff ever. I couldn't care less. All I ask is if people do videos with my tips that I've worked hard on, please credit me. That's
No.
it.
Absolutely not.
Because I have had people do that to me.
I mean, I think I
unfortunately.
have anytime I have ever said it. Anytime I have ever used.
Yeah, you
I
have.
have
You're a
said
good
it.
egg. And I sort of blend it into my eyeshadow, and it all comes together. Even like if you go warm tones, you can even use your blush to do this. But I go right in, and it also, if you still have a lot of white under there, it gets rid of it. And then I also go back into the palette after and sort of blend a little of the paler shades on top. So I'll go into Charming and Value with this very fluffy brush, and with almost zero like effort. Literally, I'm just like not much at all, just stamping it over the top, and it's seamless, and you still have that sharp line underneath, but it just makes everything look tidy. Hey Gina, it's the Bridal Excel from P. Louise, and I really like it because it's got a lot of like neutral tones. Like this whole middle row is what we use today. Sorry, the second row, not middle row. My bad.
It's not the worst Brian that ever Brianed.
No, it's definitely not. And last tip for the tops of the eyes before we do the graphic liner, Teresa, you'll want to do this. Get your bronzer or your shadow with that big fluffy brush. So you remember where we carved out this bit?
Yes.
Now we go with our bronzer or our shadow, but a little bit. So really stamp it out so you're not going too heavy. And just right in the fronts of the brows.
Perfect.
Re-add that depth back, either with your bronzer or your eyeshadow or a bit of both, which is what I'm doing. And just use a super, super duper fluffy brush, blend it up into the fronts of your brows. And then once you put your bronzer down your nose and stuff as well, it just ties it all together really nice and keeps everything looking clean. Stops the muddiness. Oh, the purple shifty is Lavender Skies. But I do feel like for you, Gina, because I know you're not a purple person, this one's more your jam. It does have 2 purples in, but I think all of these, I feel like you'd wear all of those. See, there's a process. I'm glad you like that tip, Wilma. I'm gonna let you guys pick my blush. We have a couple of options. I don't know why I said it like that. I think we had a couple of options. I'm sure I put a couple of options in. Yeah, so we can use my current all-time favorite blush, which is my Laura Mercier Chai, which is just neutral perfection. Or we can use, it's another neutral, but it's like a more of a greigey, like mauvey tone. Both would work. So you can see that they are different. Oh, thank you, Wilma. I will. Did you know I will now wear aubergine? Oh my god! We've got well, not aubergine, but like plum on today. But Gina, I am proud of you, and I will do a purple look on you when I see you next. Gina's not into purples and won't buy palettes if there's purples in them, and I'm trying to bring her over to the dark side, sexy purple side.
Yeah.
But see how all that stamping, blending, and diffusing, and when I'm like here, everything looks seamless.
Yeah.
The depth is where it needs to be. You don't have black all the way up to your eyebrows. Everything is controlled. Mauve toned. Thank you, Bindi. Any other votes for blush, or are we going mauvey? I like that first one, but both blushes seem too fair to make any impact. They're not. I can wear them when I'm tan too. They are gorgeous. They're like, it sounds weird, but they're very neutral, so they go really well with my skin tone. Because I'm not pale as like I look pale, but I'm not that pale. I'm like between a light and a medium. Oh man, yeah, I got Gina to get those ABH palettes as well. She's saying she's enjoying them. Teresa.
Oh, good. They are so good. Because like Cult Beauty has the Fall Romance on sale at the moment, and it is so good. Definitely one of my favorites of the year.
We need one more blush vote so I can pick one. Because we've got one of each at the minute. So we've got Chai or Mauve.
Chai.
Chai, okay. Chai wins. So this one. Wait till you see it on. And also, when things are in black packaging, don't underestimate them. People think things are pale, but if you put this in a white package, it would look so much darker. A lot of people underestimate colours when they look at packaging. It's easy to do. I need a nice angled brush. What should I use? Oh, yeah, let's get you. And I sweep it pretty much everywhere. But on me, I just think it's so flattering. Like, I immediately look alive again. And what I love about this bronzer and what I love about this blush is it's not too pink, it's not too orange, it's neutral, and it's so complimentary of all my grunge looks. It's why I reach for them so much. And I'm not boring. I love fun-coloured blush, but I feel like if I want my eyes to make a statement, and if I do everything else a bit too harsh, like, it looks disjointed, like, on me, personally. So this gives me what I want. Oh, I put blush everywhere. Like, just give it to me. Exactly. Exactly. And what I'll do, because some people voted for mauve, is I'll just add it because they play ball together. I'll use a bit of both. So I'll go with that slightly deeper one here and just go in between the two shades. Just to make Wilma a little happier.
Look at you accommodating people.
And look, I'm an oily girl and I haven't even powdered down yet. And I'm telling you now that when I powder this face, it's not going anywhere. And I don't need to use creams. I like to use creams, but I don't need to. I'm excited for liner time. Oh yeah, we're gonna do some graphic liner. I don't know why I said it like that.
Liner. Yar.
I have my moments.
We're gonna go to the old country.
So I like to use a puff, and I set my face as if I'm baking, but I don't like baking. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't let it sit for long, but I add extra where it needs extra. Are you just waiting on me now?
Yeah.
Have you highlighted and stuff already?
Yeah.
Oh wow, you're fast. Well, it's
Yeah.
because I'm talking through my process. So
But that's the thing, like, can't compare.
So obviously I use my puff where I need to. Also, these are the Dose of Luscious puffs. I have Trigwell as well, but these are just as nice. And they're heart-shaped. They're cute. So, as you can see, I'm not powdering everywhere yet. I just use this on my T-zone. Also, I spray and clean these after every use as well, so they're always fresh. Because this can get grimy too. So let's bring that a little higher there. And like I said, I don't really bake. I press it in with the puff, but then I get a brush and I get absolutely covered in powder. And then I dust it off immediately, like, and then just powder everywhere else very lightly. This is a very not a dense brush at all, but plenty of bristles, very flexible. So This gives me a lot of coverage and just coats powder where I need to coat powder. I don't have to pack it on. How do you clean a puff? Well, I personally stamp all the powder out until there's nothing left, or as far as you can get it, because obviously there's only so much. Because you don't want to wash them or it ruins the sponge inside. But you know your rubbing alcohol or IsoClean? Get that, get where's my, give it a good wet. Because they're microfiber, they clean up quite nicely and you're not damaging the sponge. And now it's brand new looking again. And it's immediately dry, so if you had to do it in between, you can.
I don't think you can ask how you clean a puff. That sounds a little bit, you know, discriminatory. Just saying. I don't think you can say that.
No worries. So I am going to do my thing. This is where Tia always loses it with me. And she's always like, you don't need 4 setting sprays. Yes, I do. I have an oil control. I have a hydrator. So this is in between. So oil control, setting spray. Nothing that's too glycerin heavy, otherwise you'll add too much. Something that's slightly glycerin heavy, but lightest amount of both. Very good tip. Do your setting sprays fully. So you're setting sprays fully before you do your mascara and brows. Quite often you'll find your mascara flakes or melts off, or your liner melts off, like even like eyeliner, because when you're spraying it with setting spray, it ruins its waterproof properties and then it runs. Same with mascara, it makes it flake, especially if it's waterproof. So I like to do everything that I need to, spray everything down, even lips, and then I do my mascara and lashes. Like, they are literally the end step. Blob of powder in the hairline. Whereabouts? Oh, right there. Oh well, it's fine. Thank you. But yeah, face is looking nice. I am going to use, ooh, do I want to use a clear one, or do I want to use a pink one, or do I want to use a lilac one? What color highlighter am I using? Pink, clear, or lilac?
Lilac.
Well, that's... Don't know why I pulled that face. I look so juvenile.
Mm.
Oh wow, lips are on already.
Yeah.
Also, this one came smashed, so bear with me. I'm still using the crap out of it.
Oh, mine arrived smashed too, but I managed to repress.
I'm just using it. I'm just like, I'm a roll with this crap. Also, those who haven't tried the Makeup Forever highlighters, they smash easily, but I'm just gonna let it do the talking. Do 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 do. So I'm just adding a little bit at a time because I like to build. Makeup Forever.
They're so good.
Ridiculously good. So finely milled.
You're finely milled.
One of a kind, baby. I don't think the world would survive if there was two of me, to be honest. It would probably just be ridiculously bad.
No, it would just implode.
Am I putting lilac above my brows? Yes, I am. I usually don't. I usually actually switch to a neutral highlighter for those points, but I'm just going for it today. We do, and it's on Look Fantastic. Also, all of these swatch like that, they surprise the crap out of me. They are so glowy, wet looking, but not glittery. And don't get me wrong, I love a glittery highlight, but I usually have to resort to my jelly baked highlighters for that effect. Let me just... I've got a little bit of a loose purple one here, so I'm just going to add that over the top.
Do you see what I mean, though, about saying that she's dangerous to know? Because she starts telling you about all these things, and they're really fucking good suggestions. Like, it's not like she's like saying on a whim of like, oh, try this. The shit that she suggests is really good. You know?
Oh.
So like you'll be broke, but you'll have fantastic products.
Well, I have every shade but the deep one, Gina. They are phenomenal. Yeah, I'm just using my regular one wherever else I want to put it. Just on my nose and stuff. This is my other favourite highlighter at the minute. The year before it was all about Dior, but now I love my MAC jelly highlighters. This is Double Gleam. It's a classic. But again, it's got that like really nice wet look without looking textured, and I have really textured skin, so I really enjoy it. Oh, yeah. Right. So, what color are you putting on your waterline?
On my waterline, so I have like essentially 3 options. I have a black, I have blue, or I have brown. I'm thinking the brown.
I'm going brown, so we can both go brown.
Excellent.
Oh, should I show them my pencil collection, or would that be too much?
Do show it.
Oh, it's just, I love pencils all over the front. But sign of an MUA color coded pencil collection. It's bonkers, and it's also my happy place. And there's a space here because I got some Christmas money, and I treated myself to some of that Kaleidos multi-chrome set because it's been on my list for what, 2 years now.
Oh my god,
It's like,
so
for
long.
God's sake, Daniela, just buy it. You'll regret it. Best brown pencil, by the way, as you can see, because this is also a nubbin, is the Maybelline Tattoo Liner in bold brown. Purple's nice, Demi, but trust me, on the waterline with the grunge smoke, you can't beat like a sexy chocolate colour. You really can't. You brought your colour case, didn't you, Teresa?
I did.
We're going to use that next, so when you've lined. And don't worry if you overline and it goes a little underneath, it's totally fine.
No, bad things happen when you overline. And the winged monkeys come and get you.
I must be too heavy then, because they haven't carted me off yet.
Oh, I have 20% battery left, so good thing we're near the end.
Mine's plugged in for that very reason. Are you wanting me to hurry up?
No.
Oh.
Take your time.
Do you need to plug in?
I will have to go upstairs and grab my charger, so bear with me.
All right, well, ask more questions while Teresa gets her charger, as a just in case, because she's pulling a Tia. Also, the pencil case was, I don't know if you guys remember when Scott Barnes and Tati did that video together years back where he did her makeup like J-Lo, and he pulled out a pencil case for the pencils and makeup things. And I was obsessed with how it looked. And when I looked it up online, it was like $80 and ridiculous amounts of shipping. And I was just like, I'm not paying that. So I went on Amazon. This was £30, and it's literally just a regular. I think it's 180 slots, or so, maybe 150. Just a regular pencil case for 30 quid. I've had this years, by the way, and used it, and it works. I keep my chunky pencils in its own separate drawer, like the really thick ones. But for all my regular ones, they live here. But yeah, this was my This was my solution to that. Also, I looked online last year and I completely forgot, but there's a lilac version of this now. So I'm wondering if I should upgrade or keep this old baby. It is also sentimental because I don't know, it's like when I sort of started out with my kit, so it's seen stuff. Do you ever underpaint? Not really. I think underpainting's a waste of time personally. Some people really like it. I feel like there's no difference to doing it under than it is over, and it's all about TikTok trends. Honestly, makeup subjective. Do what works for you is my best suggestion.
How dare you tell people to do what they want to do? You should be dictating and saying, no, you are trash and you must listen to me, for I am an expert.
Did you bring the brush that has the spatula in it for the colour case?
Don't ask silly questions.
Good, they're making... So, I'm going to let you choose any colour brown you want out of this and just put it on your palette, ready to go. Just scrape a little bit, you don't need much.
Okay.
Or on the back of your hand, on the palette or the back of your hand, whichever you prefer. I'm going in with the third deepest one.
That's exactly the one I went for.
Twins!
That's so strange.
And then I get a little pencil brush and I warm it up. I'm just using the back of my hand because I don't know where I've put the thingy. And this is one of my favourite tips if you want to be out the door fast and not get shadow all over under your eyes after you've done your base. But I love colour cases or paints to paint your under eye eyeshadow on. I pretty much bring it almost all the way in, so to about here, and just... I don't even have to look in the mirror, I'm just going for it.
Gina,
I say that and then look in the mirror.
This painting is my parents'. I'm in my parents' house, so this is one that my dad picked out. So I'm just putting it under, yes?
Yeah, you don't have to go as low as I am, by the way. I like
Perfect.
to be extra with my grunge, so that's just me. But also, when you use a second colour with another brush, the dark will diffuse a bit anyway. It's one of those of it looks crazy, but don't be scared, the end result is worth it kind of situations. And obviously, once you clean your spatula, where's my spray? Go. Oh, I love Milk Academy. Talking my language. Teresa, when you're done, take one of these two and do the same thing but underneath.
Sorry, say that again, because I had my glasses off.
Take one of these two.
Yeah.
And just do the same thing but slightly underneath, but with a fresh brush.
Perfect.
So, but blend into where the dark is. So halfway on the dark, halfway off the dark. And just don't be scared to bring it a bit down, because we're going to put a little bit of shadow over the top, but very lightly, just so it sets everything nice. And remember, guys, this is grunge, so, you know, if you're doing a really tight look, then keep it tight, but I drag it down because the drama, it's what it's about. I ate loads of Maltesers before I got into bed. You have Maltesers in Vietnam?
Vietnam has everything that you need.
It looks amazing. I'm always liking Gina's pictures.
Gina's off living a life, doing things.
Oh, yeah. There are no rules.
Except there are. So don't be getting any ideas.
I love the colour cases too. Another thing I really like about the colour cases is is if I do a whole base and set it with powder, I can do bronzer and blush with the color cases and it doesn't mess up the powders. I really like that about them. You do have to use a light hand though. Can you see how even though I dragged it down, that lighter color is right in between?
Yes.
And now to make it grunge, we need a slightly pointy tipped blender. So it could be, but fluffy. Well, I'll wait till Teresa's done that bit and then we'll go in. Because this is where the grunge comes to life before the liner. No worries, Kelsey. You take care, and Josh, you take care too.
Enjoy, guys. Have a lovely day.
Thanks for taking the time to do this with me, Teresa.
Of course. Now, what do I do next?
Slightly pointed, fluffy brush that's not too dense.
Will this do?
Is there anything a little more pointed? A little more domed? Because otherwise it will spray everywhere. That's better. Way better.
Yeah, sorry. It's just because I obviously don't have all of my brushes with me. That would have been nuts.
No, it's fine. We can make it work. As long as it has that kind of shape where it's a little tapered at the top, then you're not going to go flopping everywhere. So we're going to dip lightly into Intimacy and Yours Truly, which is the first two on the middle row. Stamp it out as much as possible. So you want almost nothing on the brush.
I'm just trying to find where they are. Intimacy and Yours Truly.
It's the first two on the second row. In the bridal palette.
Ah, Intimacy and what's the other one?
Is it Intimacy? No, hold on. What? Oh, I'm reading them above, so because it got covered. Rock and Value. It's just the two. These two.
Ah, yeah, perfect.
My bad. I didn't mean to read that wrong.
No, you're all right.
It's because I'm looking at it upside down. Sometimes I am a professional. Sometimes I'm Brian. Like I said, you want it where it's almost nothing on the brush. You see when you're going across, it's giving you a little bit of payoff, but not too much.
Okay.
And my favorite tip: heavier on the outer portion, lighter on the in, and just this is where the wind swipe motion can work, and just go in just over the top of where you put all that cream. And then little circles after, just to blend her out. Just don't be scared to drag it a bit, and then do the same on the other side. Do you remember how I said you add bags but on purpose? With grunge. This is that technique. It just gives sultry drama where you want it. Oh, Kerry's here. Yeah.
Kerry, my love, how are you?
Happy New Year, Kelsey, as well.
Yes, also Happy New Year. Yes.
And with the same brush, because we can mix on this one, dip into Charming, fourth on the second row, just with the tip of the brush, and then a little bit, like one dip into Bride Tribe. And very carefully, that's why you use the tip of the brush, press it just on the outer edges like that there. So it's like almost nothing, but still something. And I'm confident enough myself to dip into the deeper shades and just drag it, because I don't mind doing that. But if you want more control, that's the best way. But for me, I go in. I go right in, and I even get my bronzer at the end, or my blush. You can use either. I just stab and I just go in and just let it do its thing. Like I said, this is grunge. This is a different thing. And like I said, you can even grab your blush. I might as well do both. but it ties everything together with the base still. So this is my blush that I was using. And I'm just going over it again with that fluffy brush. But look at the finish.
Oh.
Like, it looks messy, but it's not messy. It's why you tap out so much. So you have that hint and it still graduates. Teresa.
Yes?
Pause there. Don't try and drag it up. You want to leave that line alone. Just focus it under. Just under.
Okay,
Just
I
under.
have my blush. Is that so? I use the
Yeah,
blush
yeah.
under. Okay.
Yeah, so when you're going around, you don't have to bring it up here. Just focus it there.
Under.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm watching you as you do it, so. Yeah, perfect. When you have this line here, that's done. You leave that alone. You just go in on the under eye, and that's it. All you focus it on. And when you have that brush and you're putting it on, don't be scared to sort of drag it down as you go. And if you hold your brush further, like towards the butt, you get an even softer blend. Perfect. There you go. That's a perfect technique, people. Watch.
I know, I'm so great. It's very difficult, you know, being this brilliant. You can
But look at
tell
the
that
drama it brings.
You can tell that I'm at home because my mammy has just come in and without asking her,
Is there a cup of tea?
Has brought me a fresh cup of tea.
I love that.
Mammy Mulhern. She's rather excellent. You can't have her, she's mine.
So, liquid liner, wings, totally optional. You can add them on, remove them. We're going to play around with a little graphic liner first, though, and then Teresa can decide if she wants to add a wing or not. All that sort of stuff. Because I feel like, though, that's all optional. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't as well. So, I've got the shade Iconic. I don't think that will really go today, though, so I'll leave that out the options. But I've got Milky Way. I've got Rock Candy, I've got Lilac, and I've got Silver. Pick one. And I'm sure Teresa can choose whatever, unless you want to give him a choice as well.
Well, to tell you what it is that I also have Milky Way.
Oh, Milky Way's beautiful.
And I also have Lilac Flame. And then the other three that I have are...
Is that Parade?
Rebirth.
Oh, I have that one as well.
Petals.
Ooh.
And Venus.
Ooh, Venus would be fun on you with the red lip. So what do people want to see? Unless you want to pick one, Teresa.
No, I want people to pick for me. I don't want to make choices.
Milky Way. I think that is an easy choice, to be honest. Milky Way is sexy. I'm going to try and find my doodad because I need it. If not, I'll just use the back of a palette and then sanitize it because sometimes... Oh, no. We are here. We have found... Oh, no, there's foundation everywhere. Let me fix that. Sanitizing break. Yeah, you want to clean your palette too because we're going to be using that.
It's clean.
And you've got your liner brush ready?
I do.
Woohoo! So what I love about these is you only need the smallest amount. I put on about that much. You probably don't even need that much.
Yeah. Teeny tiny baby amount. There we go.
Do I want to use a longer brush or a slightly shorter one? I'll use a mid-size. Maybe mid-size, just so you can see. Or should I go... What's the length of your liner brush? Yeah, I'll stick with my mid-size just so we match.
Yeah.
And I twirl the brush in there, like really twirl it, because I feel like it helps get the lines a little sharper as well, rather than just dip. Just sort of swirls it and twirls it into a point. And you end up with lines like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are you up to, Sargie? Sorry, Sergeant Fuzzy Boots came in, so she's just like sniffing
Love
around.
that name so much.
She's a good girl. She's
Also,
13 years old.
here's a solid swatch of Milky Way, guys, just so you know.
Sex.
And again, like with the eyeshadows I shown earlier, you can also put this on the back of your hand and shear it out and add it to eyeshadow like that. Also, it's eyes, lips, cheeks safe. That's why I collect these. They're so bloody pretty. Anyway, I start from the middle part and then I drag it inwards or outwards. I'm just going to do, just to keep it simple, I'm just going to follow the shape of my eye and then just do a flick outwards like that. And you can drag it in if you want to. So I will just a little bit, but not too much. Obviously, you've got to do the same on the other eye. So I'll match that before I continue. And I've got two different shaped eyes, so I always get it a little wonky. And you know what? That's okay.
No, it's not. Stop lying.
Must be perfect. You get the whip. That's it. It's pretty spot on. And it's one of those where when it dries, you can build it up without it flaking. But when it catches the light, it is so bloody pretty. And I've got like just winged out just slightly here, but you can drag it out further if you want. So if I want more drama, I can just add to it. Yep, exactly, Demi. It's like that horrible filter that makes your face symmetrical. It just never looks right. Just got to play ball or what you got. That's looking really cute. I can see that from here.
Yeah.
And my favorite little liner trick to do is like just a couple of millimeters underneath from almost where the eyeshadow is, but not. Just do another little wing under it in the same shape and format, but just a little under.
Nice.
Also, I know this sounds weird, but the quicker you go, the neater it generally is. If you go really slow, obviously when you're practicing, go slow. But once you start getting into it, I'll be quite honest, these kind of liners are easier than regular liner alone.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
No worries, Gina. You get to sleep. She says it's almost 11 p.m. where she is.
No, Gina. There's no fucking excuse. You stay awake. I don't care what you have to do. Take your Red Bull, take caffeine pills. I mean, that's the whole thing. Get yourself some Adderall. I mean, Jesus.
I'm just going to add a little more under here to even out the sides. There we go.
And in case you can't tell, lads, that was huge sarcasm.
Look at that catch the light, though.
There we go.
Love that. Then we get a little bit on the tip of the brush, and this is where it can get a little tricky. You don't have to do this step, but I do this shape. So I go like this, and then I go like this. Create like an X there, and that's how I create that like little graphic here, right in the middle between the two. And it can get messy, so just take your time with that step, or even like draw the lines and then fill them in when you're ready. So the lines are there. Now I just need to build them up a bit. Make sure you really curve those edges to really give it that pizzazz, but then you should end up with kind of
yes.
yeah.
I see.
Exactly, Godiva. Obviously, once you get good at it, you can just go for it and fill it in. I tend to draw the outline and then fill it in because I feel like if you just glob it on, we're using that word again, it can get messy quite quick. But there you go. They're not even, but for the sake of today, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna punish myself for that. Oh, I can't get over this, by the way. It's ridiculous. Woo! Disco. But no, just... You know what? Because I've got some left over, I'm just gonna put some on my finger and tap it over the top. Just... Because I like weird shiz. Just add some chrome to your dome. That should be on the merch t-shirt.
Oh, 100%. Lads, obviously, you'll all have to buy the merch once merch occurs. Or you're not allowed to watch the channel anymore.
Hoochie Mama, it's giving.
I'm in it just for the money, obviously. The incredible amount of money that I make on YouTube.
And my two finishing touches, bar regular liner, when Teresa's ready, I will show. And don't rush, by the way. Take your time with it. But once you learn this little trick, you can extend it. You can add another line here and then add another one of those joints there or underneath. It's like, once you learn how to do that, you can put them anywhere or as many as you like and get it as technical as you want or even on the insides of your eye. And those who follow me on Instagram know that I did a blue liner with nothing on the, with no eyeshadow, but I just put a shim on the lids and that was enough.
There we go.
And that was also with another Danessa. Ooh, look at that! Proper. You want to turn that way a little bit. I didn't see the other side. No, the other way.
This
other way.
way.
Go, move to. Yeah, there we go. Now I see it. Oh, that's so neat. Nice.
Do you know the things that I could do if I could actually see what I was doing would be amazing.
That's the same thing I say. Imagine the makeup artist I could be if I wasn't disabled.
Oh, well, no matter how disabled you choose to be.
Oh man, back in before it dries, and I like to. You see where it ends there?
Mm-hmm.
I like to just drag it and make. Oh, I need to add a bit more. It's starting to dry, but I like to just drag it and create a line there.
Ooh, nice.
That's my little bit of like creative flair. I just think it looks cool. It just adds a little more pizzazz. And sometimes I do let it go up into the brows, because why not? Demi said, if that's not you not seeing, I'd hate to see how phenomenal you was if you could see. Well, you know, as Teresa chooses to see.
She does. She chooses. Sorry, I've kind of done my own thing now and just started adding dots.
Ah, yeah. Well, what I like to do, because obviously we cut it quite high, is this. So I like to add... I'll wait for you there. There we go. So, you know how usually we do the inner corner right there with the liner?
Mm-hmm.
Well, imagine it underneath. And I just drag from there to almost like the midpoint of the eye.
No.
But see how it finishes that shape off, and with that little bit of shading there, it just puts that shape together.
Nice. Yeah, I just put like little dots here because I was like, oh, that could be nice.
You could have both. You could have dots underneath, you could have dots here, you could add some dots there. That's what I'm saying, the graphic liner gives you that like flexibility. But for me, I feel like that finishing touch there with or without an extra inner liner, just finishes that shape off. And on top of the grunge that you added, it stands out. It's more metallic. Demi just put, have you tried just seeing?
I tried. Wasn't for me.
Also, imagine this, but with just a black eyeliner, no eyeshadow with this shape. With a lash and a bit of shim on the lids, that's perfect on its own too. So I'm done with graphic liner. You can add or take away as you see fit. What do you do under your brows, Teresa? Do you just use highlighter?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you do that because I've stopped using highlighter. I just use glitter liners under my brows now. So if you have one, use one. I'm just gonna go with an iridescent rainbow. But for the last 2 years, I don't bother with underbrow highlights. I just do this. I just get any one of these or whatever color I'm matching it to. Or I'm doing just a bit of, because there's gold in my inner corners. I'm going with iridescent today. And I just tap it out so there's no harsh lines. And look at that.
You're too fancy.
Oh, we love you too, Demi. It's nice to have you here.
Don't speak for me. I tolerate you, Demi. I'm joking.
Oh, ow! So I'm going to do. Remember how I said I set my face before I do anything else? This is fine. This will hold, but any black that I apply to my face, I set my base first fully. So I haven't even done mascara yet. That's what I'm saying. I set my base before I touch any of that. Also, this is broken, so I have to have it plugged in at all times. Because the battery just dies immediately now. It's old.
Oh. Sergeant Fuzzy Boots is just like wandering around the room. What are you doing?
I have a new liquid liner I want to try. I keep forgetting I bought it, the Danessa one, so I'm going to give it a go.
Nice.
I'd normally recommend a chocolate liquid liner with a look like this because I feel like it keeps it soft, but I bought this in black, so I'm just going to try it.
Yeah, fair.
But no, I got this on set. I think it was like 12 quid that I managed to snag it for. So, yeah, on a beauty-based sale, I think it was.
Nice.
But yeah, I just wanted to. Was it there or was it Cult Beauty? It was one of the two.
What are you doing? She's just knocking over Christmas cards. Because she's a little Scrooge, aren't you? She's like, yes, I am. Woodies, come here. Do you have to come over here? No?
Also, my inner corner wings constantly change and get more or less dramatic. I also always tight line right in there before I put lashes on. Like, it looks a lot right now, but when the lashes are on, it ties it together. It just adds drama.
Sorry. Sarah G is just like wandering around. I'm going to grab her. I want to show her to you guys because she's adorable and I love her. Come here, booties.
You love all the animals here.
I do. Oh no. What did you knock over? Oh no. Oh, booties. Come here, booties. Say hello to the people. Hello, booties.
Oh my goodness, the pause.
Look.
Hello. I see why she's named that. She does look like a sergeant.
She's always unhappy. Just like her mother.
I'm gonna point these inwards a little more.
There we go.
Also, the higher up I do my shadow, the more down I put my inner corner wings, just so it has more balance. So I feel like when you extend here, if you don't extend here, you're closing your eye off. I want to see Daniella's background shark. Not just a shark. His name is Parsnip.
Sorry, that just reminds me of, for ages, Sahil couldn't pronounce parsnip.
And yes, I am an adult that loves plushies.
But Sahil couldn't pronounce parsnip for ages, so he called it parsnip.
I also have a life-size Stitch over there. So if I was any Disney creature, it would be Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. Just a little bundle of chaos. Also, this mascara was an accidental find, but really impresses me, Teresa. And it's cheap. It's the Beauty Bay mascara. Because when I got the Metamorphosis set, it came with it. But look at my lashes. What the hell?
Oh.
Yeah. Like, I've only used it the last couple of weeks because I left it in my backups box while I used up the melt one. And I like the melt one that Kerry recommended to me. It definitely doesn't flake, but I find that my bottom lashes don't have as much drama as I'd like. I really have to build it up. But this hasn't flaked on me yet, and it gives me... Because I don't care about my top lashes because I wear falsies. But my bottom lashes, I do like them to be dramatic. Yeah, it surprised me. Like, look at that. And I don't mind extra volume. Like, I don't mind a little bit of clumpiness. So that's me. But yeah, it's a rubber brush. It's very black. It definitely impressed me. I've got like 4 bottom lashes, what, like 2 each side? Yeah, the Beauty Bay one. Heike. I think at the minute in the sale it's 2 for £14. I'm not paid until the 9th, but I have a feeling I might get a backup depending on bills. I didn't just fling it over there, but let me get my lashes ready. I'm just gonna wear the lashes I wore yesterday, which I call my sleepy lashes because they drop a little down, but they still have a curl.
Smart. Yeah.
I was gonna add a wing, but I feel like this looks cute on its own. Because a lot of the time I'll add an extra wing and I'll add a wing underneath so you've got a negative space there. But I did that for yesterday's look, so I'll go without today.
There we go. I've done my liner.
From me. Oh, you look so cute. You did really well with that graphic liner.
Not bad. Again, can you imagine if I could actually see what I was doing? It would be incredible.
You're going to want to shoot me because I got to a point when I used to travel the bus where I could do my liner and mascara without a mirror. I'm not even kidding. It did look a bit panda-esque because it was like 2010s times, but it was done. And I could do a wing.
No, you see, I'd stabbed myself in the eye.
I don't know if I still have that same skill set now, but it was something I was very proud of back in the day.
It's probably like riding a bike. You know, you probably could bring it back.
Is it bad? I want to add more glitter to my look.
No, add more. Glitter, glitter, glitter.
Because I really like the... I was thinking of using either my Nabla. This is stunning, by the way. This is my second one. I panned my first one.
Oh.
Or I've got my...
They're so much more difficult to get now, though, Nabla. Cause
yeah, I really wanted some of their singles, but they were so expensive to ship over. Ooh, maybe this is the jam. Just a bit of... But what I like to do with glitters when my look is done is I take a little bit, so I stamp it out again, and I just put it around... No, it sounds weird. Like around the outside. Just here. I'll show you in a bit when the lights are down, but it doesn't interfere with this, and it catches the light real nice. No. So sometimes I also put it right on the edges. but like again, like not too much. You like let it, because again, like I say, I wear a lot of makeup, but I layer it well, so it all plays ball. Because I feel like if you go heavy with everything, that's when it becomes too much. I will use Topaz today as we are here together. If I can sharpen it though, because I don't know where I've put that. I might not be able to, because it is a bit... Apparently that's a word. Okay, I'm not using it today. But actually, should I just... Where have I put you? You are somewhere. Ba-doo-doo. I don't know. This will be another time. I'm going to go in with my MAC Stone. Did you bring your MAC Stone?
I didn't. I only brought 2 lip liners with me and 2 lipsticks.
Well, you'll get to see MAC Stone because it's stunning.
Yeah.
It's my second favourite to Topaz, and it goes with everything I wear with Topaz. So if Topaz never comes back, this is fine. And it's that sort of cooler tone sexiness. And yes, I overdraw my lips. Come at me, bruh. And my lashes are currently marinating because I let them get real tacky before I apply them. Demi said you remind her of Snow White.
Yes. I too am happy to live with 7 men. I don't want to cook and clean for them though.
She also gets deer and birds to clean a house.
It's true. It's true. To be fair though, like you can't fucking leave my front door without there being a bunch of animals. Cats everywhere. My father-in-law thinks it's hilarious. He's like, "Oh my god, there's so many cats." And I'm like,
I think I could get away with Beatrice for this look.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Oh. 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 Me and nudes, I swear to God. Just... I wish my zit here didn't make it look like I've smudged everything. I'm just gonna get a tiny bit of foundation or something. Did I grab... I did grab a concealer. If you guys want a really, really good concealer recommendation, the MAC 24 Hour. It's so thin, skin-like, not creasy on me. And I struggle with loads of creasing with loads of concealers. But no, this is like, you literally need the smallest amount. Look at this. Look how skin-like it is. I genuinely love this. I have it in 2 shades because I love it this much. This and the Backstage. So I have 5 favorite concealers. This, the Dior Backstage, the KVD Good Apple Concealer, the Urban Decay Naked, and the Urban Decay Quickie. Both phenomenal. Just gonna...
Bye, Wilma. Enjoy.
Happy New Year to you too.
Oh yes, a new year. Same old me.
I love that. Same.
I'm not changing. Fuck that nonsense.
Oh man, as soon as I put a lash on, I'm just like, bad bitch in the building. Shanoodle-doo. That's my sleepy lash though, where it just sort of sits there. Because most lashes I wear give me a massive lift, but I like how sultry these look on me.
I can't do my fringe today because it's so gross and greasy. So we're just wearing my hair back.
I did Batiste the crap out my hair before I put it up, but I'll take it down just to see how it looks, but no promises.
I need to have a shower. I am disgusting.
And I'm just going to gently wipe my brows because I didn't bring a brow mascara, but any powder that's on it is easily removed, and the gel still stays.
Gorgeous.
But put my choker back on, unclip these, and I'll also very quickly turn my ring light off so you guys can see how this shines under like a more direct light, you know, like how I get my low lit shots where you can see all the sparkles. Because I feel like these lights are great, but they don't always show everything.
It's true. Oh, Demi, I don't wear my hair out of my face. I'm not good at change, and I've had the same haircut since I was like 3. So it hasn't changed. It's full fringe all the time. I do need a haircut desperately, though. I have a load of ratty kind of.
Mine's just a very ashy blonde right now.
It's beautiful.
I need my money piece redoing, but I like the roots. They blend it into my roots on purpose. This top does not go with the look, but who cares? I wore it because it's comfortable.
Same. The hedgehog.
But this is the look with the lights on.
Oh, how dare you.
I tried.
Very upsetting.
Let me... Ooh, ooh.
Oh.
I'm going to turn my lamp on before I turn my light off. There we go. Turn you down. And here we go.
Oh. So beautiful.
So you guys can see, actually, and the great thing about my phone, if I jump to the torch settings, I can put the brightness down so you guys can get something that's not so.
Ooh. Gorgeous.
So you go, no beauty filters, none of that nonsense. You can get this kind of base. A little bit of lick and spit in building your product.
Don't actually lick or spit in your products.
You can also add a wing. Sometimes I add a wing, sometimes I don't, but the way everything catches the light and you see those extra little glitters that I put on, pop.
Nice.
Danielle, I felt like I was being mounted through the screen and I liked it well.
Fair. Fair. You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
But that's how oh.
Right, let's see. I'll do my own close-ups. I'll turn these lights off.
Oh, that shift on there though. If there's any constructive criticism I can give,
Yes,
the
go for
only
it.
thing is go a little lighter on the under eyes next time. Just a little bit.
Yes. Perfect.
But besides that, 10 out of 10.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't normally do my under eye, so I mean you
But look
probably
how
noticed that with
that
my
catches
looks.
the light underneath.
Yeah. Beautiful.
It looks neon. Yeah.
Oh, Demi, if I had vision.
Milky Way is that bitch though, guys. If you ever want to buy one Vanessa Merrick's Colour Fix, that Milky Way's the one.
Do you know what? I think that she has a couple of her bits on sale on Sephora at the moment.
Yeah.
The Colour
The
Fix.
Sanderdog.
Because I picked up 1 or 2. But it's very bad because my father-in-law is there at the moment and he's already just seen a bunch of boxes arrive and he's like, what's going on? And I'm like, nothing, everything's fine.
No, I don't always do concealer on sides of the lips, Janet. I have a leftover zit there where it's pink, so I just wanted to cover it a bit more because I didn't go full coverage today. There you go. The light's back on. But yeah, no, I didn't go full coverage. Oh gosh. That is drastic. There we go.
Well, friends, I think that's it. I mean, we've been here for fucking 3 hours.
Yeah, hope I didn't take up too much of your time.
Oh God, no, don't worry. I'm gonna piss off, have something to eat, and I'm actually gonna film a few little things while I'm here. But that is it, friends. Thank you so much for watching.
I need to go and buy gas.
it's a very glamorous life that you lead. But guys, we will be doing another live again, probably around Easter to accommodate Daniella's schedule and my schedule. But we'll figure it out. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you again soon. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That went well.